stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Loaded up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heart be needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, yeah, you take me higher, baby.
Welcome. Oh, I hate when I do that. There we go. Welcome to Saturday Night Vibe, the progressive news show with Let's BS3. I am your host, Marlon, along with Anna Hart. And on today's show, we're not completely full. We're going to take a little breather. We're going to listen to a bunch of stories and give our comments on it. We do have a Foxy video? Yeah, we do have a Foxy videos of the week, and we do have a real or nah, which, again, I beg that this is fake, because if it's real, it will go down in history of this show as the most pathetic individual we have ever heard on this show. Like, bar none. Theus is off tonight. Theus may actually be off this whole weekend. Our prayers with Theus and his family. Tracy will be on later. Yada, yada, yada. Now, we're going to get down to some real business here. It's this very small controversy that's been going on this show. And we're going to, as the Godfather said tonight, and she left. And tonight we was going to take care of family business, but Anna dropped off, so we can't take care of family business until she comes back. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue. Welcome. Please do not forget to like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment during and after the show. Hit the bell because I post every day, and enjoy. And hello, Susan. How are you? What? Oh, no. Okay. Please move your head or something.
I'm not sure if my internet.
Okay.
I'm here. I'm here. That was very strange. You were talking.
That was very strange.
Suddenly, it was gone.
One, it was very strange. Two, I said, let's take care of all family issues tonight. And that's when you dropped off. So I'm now thinking, wait a minute.
So now what the hell do I say?
What did I do?
No. Okay.
Anna,
all right.
It's on you.
I got the floor. Yeah. A few people noticed, especially in the last show of last weekend, but for a few shows now, that I've been getting quieter and quieter. It hasn't been for lack of trying. A few of you have noticed that I have tried to raise my hand. I've tried to speak. But I have two of the loudest brothers with me. But after last weekend, after the Sunday, I had to speak up because it is not cool to just, and I think part of this is internet delay, Um, but going back and watching it as taking it in as just an observer and not a in the conversation anymore. I could certainly see points where my mouth was open and somebody else just either jumps in really fast. Plus, a lot of this happened in the second plus hour. And by that point, my brain is getting tired. I came to a point where I stopped caring. I muted myself and I sat back and I waited for somebody to say something. I had tried several times. I was going to speak to them afterwards, but my brain is not the kind, I've spoken many times about my neurodegenerative difficulties. I'll know something's not good at the moment, but finding the words, finding the angle, because this is not one person's fault. This is not two people's fault. This is three people's fault. We were all failing to read each other. And just all of us have made a renewed commitment that we all need to do better. I got some feedback. People wanted to know if I'm okay. Of course. Of course I'm okay. I promise you I'm never not okay with these guys. There's a lot of times I will be happy to let conversation go on. And it can go on for like a good half hour. It's just that there were times I was trying and I was trying hard. And I just couldn't get through a wall. So I thank you for those of you who saw me trying, who picked up. I have a thing with my face that if I'm annoyed, you will tell. It's easy to read. But that's also if you can see my face. Like, we're dealing with a whole bunch of different technical levels. Some of us are on our phone. Faces are tiny for me. I can barely read the comments. It's what I have, and we're all doing the best we can. But in some ways, we do need to work, and so we can only just start fresh tonight. Marlon, my brother, I love you, and I love all the steps that you have made in the past couple of years. Like, you have really sharpened your vocabulary around the issue of mental illness. And I thank you very much. That's a topic near and dear to my heart. You have gotten to know a whole lot more about, probably more than you ever needed to know, but about the legitimate claw community. You have been nothing but interested, welcome. I'm gonna state your boundaries if you got that, but hey, that's what we celebrate. That's what we all do together. We have beautiful strengths, beautiful differences, and that's what's the magic of this show. So
I have
go
a
ahead.
reason. I do. I have a reason. Not a very good one, especially with the
Mhm.
time frame of this stuff. And I'm just going to give you from my perspective. I could literally be absolutely wrong, but if I am, fine, because I don't know when people thought that things that come out of my mouth is always going to be correct. I'm not Theus. I know I make mistakes. I'm still working. When I first met Anna, and I know the disability that she has, and one of the disabilities is when she's talking, and the way I was understanding it is these starts to get jumbled in her head, and
Yep.
it could be anywhere from slowing down to a complete stop. And I, being the big brother, was like, okay, Marlon, get in there and, you know, Anna, because I see what you're saying, Anna. So what we need to be doing is blah, 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 blah. And here's my
Yep.
mistake that I made. She's not my little sister anymore. Anna has come such a long way that I honestly don't have to do it, but I've been doing it for so many years, the last 2 years, that is now in automatic mode. So when I see her pause, it's like, okay, so this is what I got to do. But it's like now I'd come to the conclusion that she's still my little sister, but she's a bigger sister now. She don't need that. You don't need that crutch anymore. So now it's not her stopping. It is literally her just pausing. So for that, I apologize for not recognizing Anna's greatness. She has grown. And I have to start treating her like Molly, you don't have to hold your hat. Come on, Anna. Come on. Let's go. Let's get through this conversation. Come on. You can do it. I don't have to do that anymore. Now, let me make this perfectly clear. And Tracy, I see you. I'm bringing you on in just a second. I'm making this perfectly clear. There's absolutely no excuse for interrupting each other on this show. We're literally just used to it anyway. Like, I've listened to conversation that me and Thea's have where I don't even know what the hell we was discussing oh, hell, that's not a real cuss word. I don't know what the hell we was discussing at the beginning, but we're literally just talking over each other. And we do that. And we just, and you're literally talking about two brothers who are just very stubborn because we're both thinking the same thing. I'm going to keep talking and he's going to be quiet. Nope, I'm going to keep talking and he's going to be quiet. And neither one of us is going to stop talking because neither one of us is going to be quiet. But that happens few and far in between. But Anna, from the bottom of my heart, I totally apologize. I will work on myself to not let that happen again on this show. I appreciate everything that you have done for this show, that you do on this show. And moving forward, that will be something that's going to be corrected. I promise you.
I will try to be a lot more forthcoming about where I am, and maybe we will have to figure out just some kind of little signal that says my brain is going down, so that you can jump in when I need it. I do need it sometimes. Hey, Tracy, long time no see.
The returning
But I
Tracy
just want to. I do just want to sum up that I want to stress both of the guys have made incredible apologies. Not just the one that he just had, but it's. I am not much of a fighter, so I'm not used to really trying to fight for a chance to speak. So I gotta get better at that. Because as we know, dead air, it's not the greatest of things, but I really do also thank you for sticking with me for those moments. Anyway, Tracy!
Tracy is back. Nikki,
hey, my love!
we're live on YouTube right now.
Oh.
looking at myself. So go to my page
Hmm.
and go to
Uh-huh.
the live and see if you could get through there because you're on my Facebook.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I'm
I can even see that.
um, when I do the show, I also put the show live on YouTube. You know, the tab right but next to each other just in case something happens. Or I get a new person who's coming in. I want to read the comment before I even say something. So as long as I'm up, we're up. So just go to my YouTube page and see if you can get through that way.
Yeah, I hope we are up.
I mean, I know you found her, but you found us on Facebook, Mickey.
Right. Now I'm curious, are we up on YouTube?
Yeah, but I'm looking at us. Yeah,
You okay? Okay.
yeah, I'm literally looking at us. Um, because she's okay. Well, we said this last week, Mother Heart. Make sure when you go to the comment section, make sure you go all the way to the top, and at the top there's a drop down button, and one says it always starts you off with top chat.
Top messages.
Yeah, scroll down to
Oh,
live chat, and the live chat will bring everybody's thing up. Why they have that, I honestly have no idea. Like, I mean, I get
but
it. If go ahead.
would Lorraine see Mickey's comment on
Ye-
Facebook if she's on YouTube?
Yes. Well,
Oh,
oh no, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't see Mickey's comment because she's on YouTube. You're right. That's right. That's right. You would only see Mickey's comments if she was on Facebook. So I get it.
right.
Okay.
You have to be in the same place. Okay. Okay.
And yes, Mickey, get on over here to YouTube. Uh, no live chat, only all messages.
Okay.
Well, let's go with that one.
Well, it's because she's on Facebook.
Okay.
Tracy, how have you been?
How you doing, Tracy?
It's been a while. I just went live with my second interview for the longest podcast title ever. Congratulations, Cornel West, 47th President of the United States. It was actually a great turnout. I was like, oh, more than 3 people are watching.
That's wonderful.
So I have that coming up. Then I have Thursday, no guest, but I'm going to do a special show. And then after that, since Marlon's not going to be here for Halloween, on Halloween Day, I'm going to actually do it live with my costume.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Nice. Oh,
But it's been busy, but y'all acting
You
like
made it.
you guys did so well with that. I'm like, they don't need me. They literally don't need me.
I was trying to get everybody good so y'all don't need me. I mean, I'm being very serious. I really don't like to take days off of this show because the show has to constantly be
Marlon, you didn't catch your signal. You supposed to jump in and say, of course, Tracy, we need you.
I done told you 50 million thousand times, but every week you come back with, but you don't need me. So I just
But you guys have done a better. I'm like, this show is way better. Way
you know
better.
what? It's so funny that all three of us have, all three of you, I'm sorry, because I have never said it. All three of you have literally said at one time or another, but the show works so much better when I'm not on there. And every person I've said was, no, that's not true. No, that's not true. No, that's not true. No, that's not true. After about a year and a half of this, okay, because I can't
Do we
keep doing
have to go
this
through
every
this
year.
again? I
But
told
you
you I
guys
thought
have
it
been
for one
doing
moment.
great.
I know.
But I'm more consistent because I'm like, I don't offer much. But you guys really have done some really good shows.
Well, thank you. I still miss you when you're not here. There's a certain grace and beauty that you bring, And it lacks when you're not here.
And I don't got $20, so I can't send it to you.
Well, you said you missed her. Let's get this party started.
She did. Thank you, Anna.
Oh, Mama. Enough. Back to the show.
Yes, ma'am.
And LL. Okay, quickly, what I was trying to say was I'm trying to get everybody up to speed so when I take my breaks that y'all can still do a live show without me. Like I'll still literally put all the show together and everything, but y'all can come on and y'all can do the show and so on and so forth. That way, instead of all me taking time off, doesn't mean the show take a time off. That's what I was trying to say. LL, you need to email me as soon as this show is over because I have something to discuss with you really quick. And you know, and I know, and you know that you know what it's about. So you email me during the show or after the show, but email me. I'm going to start off with a light one. Something light.
Please would be nice in there, Marlon.
How about a pretty please?
That's even better.
With sugar on top. No, sugar is fatty. With
Sugar doesn't have any fat in it.
Yeah, it's still not good for you. Splenda. With Splenda on top.
No. A cherry. Just a cherry on top.
I want everybody or I will cry. I don't know anything. Just email me, please. You'll find out. I'm gonna do something a little lighter.
Okay.
And it's amazing that Tracy is on here because Tracy, I always like to play the game, which one is going to be irritated the most. Tracy is going to be irritated the most of all of this. Me, I wouldn't be irritated because I wouldn't even be involved in it. So here we go. My bachelorette party.
I'm a 25-year-old woman, and I'm getting married to my wonderful fiance, who's 31 this fall. A week ago, I had my bachelorette party. While most girls dream of their weddings, I dreamt about my bachelorette party. I put a lot of planning into this weekend, made a lot of phone calls, reservations, everything basically. From Thursday night to Sunday morning, me and 25 of my closest girlfriends rented a house. From the start, it was a disaster. I told my girls to get to the house early on Thursday so they could decorate and set up before I got there. Well, I got to the house at 3 and they weren't done decorating, so that bummed me out because I wanted that wow moment when I came in and saw the setup. I felt robbed, but we still had a decent first night. Friday, I woke everyone up at 7 a.m. to make breakfast and get ready because we had a packed day. Vineyards, boat, lunch, happy hour drinks, then dinner and clubs. I was getting shaded on all afternoon because people said they were being rushed from place to place and had to carry changes of clothes all day, but we only had limited time in the city and I wanted to make the most of it. Saturday was worse. We had brunch at 9 a.m. and no one was awake on time, so it only ended up being me and a few loyal bridesmaids. We went shopping afterwards for a few hours, and when we got back to the house, no one was even apologetic, even though I was close to tears all day. The last straw for me was later that night when we were going to dinner and nobody was wearing the matching shirts that we got for the weekend. People wanted to wear their own stuff, but that's not what we agreed to, even though my maid of honor notified everyone. At this point, I said F it. This weekend was ruined and I locked myself in my room to cry. It was even worse when I came out a few hours later and half the girls had gone out anyway, without me, the actual bride. I ended up driving home early on Sunday and left the house a mess for the girls to pick up because I was so upset. Now it's been almost a week and no one has really texted me except for some bridesmaids and my maid of honor. I know that I sound bridezilla-ish, but these are supposed to be my friends, and we were supposed to celebrate me all weekend, and I felt neglected, and I'm just really upset. I understand these expectations may seem like a lot, but I made my expectations clear to the group, and they just let me down so bad. Tell me, am I the butthole?
That's supposed to agitate me?
The schedule, the whole schedule.
It's her weekend. What did she do wrong?
Okay, yeah, I guess I'm the only one that's agitated. Hey, Tracy, I'm not going doing all that crap.
But she told you from the beginning what was going to happen. Yes, is she a little bridezilla-ish? Probably. But she told them, I'm going to do this, and this. This is why I don't go on group trips. Because you get them 25 people, 30 people say, oh, we going. Then it cuts down to 15. Then it gets down to 10. Then it gets down to 5. By the time you get to that trip, you're the only one going. You're the only one going. I'm not going to say that she wasn't a little out of line, but she did tell them what she was planning on doing. If they thought it was too much, they should have just said, we're not going to go. You're a bridezilla, deal with it.
Isn't that what they did? They didn't go.
No, they went. They went on the weekend and then complained. We're going place to place to place. Well, she told you were going to go place to place to place. If she tells you up front, then you should have up front said, I don't want to go.
Okay.
But she was just a tad bit. But people that plan things, us people that actually plan out things and write things down and say this is the schedule, we don't get no respect. None. You can plan something months ahead and tell people by email. And then they'll still complain. You didn't tell me. What do you mean I didn't tell you? I emailed you 25 times. What are you talking about?
Anna?
Now that is true. That is true. They were pretty shitty friends. Yeah. I'll pay the $1. And however, there were very unrealistic expectations. Now, if it were me, I would be telling somebody, I'm never going to be up at 9:30 in the morning for a breakfast.
7:30.
7:30.
No, it was supposed to be at.
Oh, no.
And that was the worst logic. I got everybody up at 9 o'clock for brunch. Brunch is not at 9. That's breakfast.
Yeah, she got everybody up for brunch, and brunch is like at 11.
Yeah.
But then she got up early to cook breakfast at 7.
Oh, after clubbing the night before.
It's possible.
Oh, sweetheart. Unrealistic expectations.
It was a little high. I don't see nothing wrong with
She had every right to say, I want the weekend to go this way. Things hardly turn out as a tightly scheduled planner will tell you. It is incredibly hard to pull that off. Be on time, be at all the places that you want to be at. Everybody else has different, I want to go see this. We're here now, and something might be different. I'm always thinking from a health perspective. I will have days where I'll be like, yeah, let's go out. And then maybe the next day, I can't come. Would greatly love to. If she could have eased up. She could have had more fun. They could have had more fun. But no, everybody was just off doing their own thing. And
Girlfriends
that's
are
a pretty
crap.
shitty thing to do for a bachelorette party. You are supposed to do something with the bride,
It's
not
the whole
reluctantly.
weekend. As a person that's planning her, oh gosh, I can't believe I'm gonna be this old 50th birthday extravaganza weekend. Let something go not playing the schedule. Somebody gonna hear about it. Oh, what this bridezilla did, and I'm not even the. Oh no, I got the whole thing planned out. Period. Restaurant, uh, club visit, everything is planned out. I'm like, I'm gonna do this Thursday. I'm gonna do this Friday. I'm gonna do this Saturday.
Here's the deal. I'm not a planner. My sister-in-law is the planner of the family. This. When we go on when we go on our little family trip down the Santa's land, she has every day planned out for every day of every activity. Here is not the
Mhm.
here's the issue that here is the thing that she does that makes it a non-issue with us. If you want to, this is what we have planned, but you're not incentivized to actually do it, to be a part of it. I'm just letting you know that we do have something planned for this time and on this day. If you want to do it, you're happy to come. If you don't want to do it, cool. Because we and she knows that some people just want to go, just to chill out. They put
Mm-mm.
their money into it too. It ain't like you gave them a free trip. They took time off their schedule at work. They traveled too. I'm pretty sure they put some money into whatever this big castle you got for you and 25 of your closest friends, wink, wink, associates, that they want to enjoy their time too. Sure, they want to enjoy because you the bride, but come on,
She
you
told them up
you can
front.
tell me all you
She
want to. That doesn't
told
mean
them,
I
and they
agree
still
with
said,
it.
"Okay, we're gonna go," and then complain when they get there. Oh, put up Mickey's question. I want to answer
And
her
here's the
question.
second thing: did they agree, or
They
or
came.
Right.
is them showing up? You saying that they're agreeing to it because they never
I don't
agreed to
think
it.
that's an agreement. That
I never heard they say they agreed to it. I just
They showed up.
okay.
They should have
And
stayed
there
their
were some
behinds
things
home.
that they
She
wanted to
told
do.
them. She literally told them, "We're gonna do this," and then they thought, "Oh,
Man,
gee, that's too much." Just
Tracy,
say,
Tracy,
"Hey, I
Tracy.
can't come,"
This woman wanted a wardrobe change per event that they was going to.
and she
And
told
what?
them.
I am not carrying a suitcase on my vacation to every place that I'm going. That is so unrealistic.
I didn't say it
Now, I
wasn't, but
will
she
say
still
this,
told them.
though. I will say this. I will put one a-hole move on that group, and that is,
They could have wore the t-shirts.
yeah, they could have worn the t-shirts. Now, come on. Y'all could have
They gonna
changed to
get
the
all
t-shirt.
petty about it.
But
Oh,
let me
put up
see what,
Mickey's question because I gotta answer this one.
let me go in order here. Yes, Susan. Yes, actually playing with them. That's a maybe because it is
that was
her.
weird, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a big old maybe. They ain't the
That's a
ones
big
getting
maybe
married.
because
The
it is
whole
her.
expectation of service that she wanted to walk in and have this wow moment of everybody having prepared for her.
She should hire a decorator.
Yeah.
That she went to
Yeah.
Yeah.
that she could. Now that part I will say she should hire somebody.
Tracy, if one of your
Mm-hmm.
friends ate that restaurant or one isn't up to the plan for every day, no discussion, just your way or the highway.
They showed up. Here's the way I got mine planned. So eventually I'm gonna just say yes. Here's why I'm saying yes. I'm giving you this. Everybody who's invited to my 3-day extravaganza 50th birthday. I can't believe I'm that old. Week is gonna get an agenda. I already got it planned out. I know when I'm going to do the 4th. I'm going to go visit my mother's gravesite. Then I'm going to go to Cincinnati. Then I'm going to come here, eat dinner at one of my favorite restaurants. This ain't the time for, well, I don't like that restaurant. No, 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 no. This is Tracy M. Carson's day. So we're going to go to her favorite restaurant. Now, if you don't want to go, that's okay. You don't have to. Then Friday is slumber party day. Friday is the whole day I got stuff planned out. I'm not saying you have to go from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., but I have stuff planned out for the whole day if you just want to drop in and say hello. But you are going to get an agenda. Oh, and you're gonna get a box, a pink box, because pink is my favorite color, and it's gonna have the invitation scrolled in on the middle of it. But yeah,
I'm okay. My sister is like that, Marlon. Last time we was home, Robin and I ended up hiding from her for a whole day.
I'm telling you, y'all
Look,
need planners in your life. Y'all need the people.
I have planners in my life. All I'm saying is they will also say everything is not made for everyone. So here's something that we're doing. You're happy to come, but you're not obligated. And maybe
That's
that's
what
the
I'm
word I'm
saying.
missing. You're not obligated to do every
But don't
event.
agree to the agenda and then get
And
there
when
and
do they
complain
agree?
about everything.
But when do they agree? Because you're still looking at them showing up means they're in agreement. What if they don't drink? What if you got somebody who doesn't drink?
In Tracy's case, because she has had groups about this, we've talked about it. She has been completely open about what her agenda is for her birthday, as she said. So yes, the showing up would be an agreement
Yeah, don't
because
get
she's
there.
made
Don't
that
why you
absolutely clear.
I make it perfectly clear. This is what I expect of you. When we go to the nightclub, don't expect me to drink anything. I'm just there because I rarely go to nightclubs. That's what I want to do. I want to have fun, and you can have fun without alcohol. It's possible. Um,
Yeah, I agree with that.
but don't. We shouldn't go to. No, nobody's gonna say don't go to your mother's gravesite because they literally will get cussed out. Period. Um, or don't. Why we gotta go to this fancy restaurant? It's my favorite restaurant. That's why. I'm not making you. I'm not. I'm not
No.
saying you got to go or I won't speak to you. But if you're gonna show up, don't you complain about nothing I got on that shit. Don't you say nothing. Just show up to the events you're gonna show up to and go home. Don't you complain. And that's what they did.
I say I love you, Tracy, but no way.
I'm not saying you have to come, but I'm saying if you do come,
But
don't complain.
I'm actually agreeing with Tracy on that, though. I actually do agree with Tracy with a twist. I get what Tracy is saying. Don't show up and try to change the plans that was already.
Oh, we should do this instead. Let's
Yeah.
play cards.
That's just being an a-hole.
Do you see cards on the agenda?
Yep.
Do you see Candyland anywhere on this agenda? No, you don't.
No.
No, because that's my favorite restaurant. I go to it like
I'm agreeing
every
with Tracy
year.
on that.
No.
No.
If you want to go to Burger King or White Castle, help yourself. But when it comes to where I want to go to on my birthday, I'm going to my favorite restaurant. Period.
Because if they don't like the restaurant, but they want to go clubbing, how hard is it to say, hey, I'll meet you at the club?
Yeah, they ain't hard.
It's just that simple.
And
or vice versa. Hey, I'll meet you at the restaurant. No, I'm gonna head on home because I'm not, I don't go to.
Yeah, I got to go to work Friday.
Yeah, so
okay,
yeah,
cool.
But don't go to somebody's event and then try to change the event to cater to you. Because I'm gonna put it to you this simply. What's the difference between somebody going to Tracy and changing her event, and then you put an event together for you?
And then I come and change everything. Well, I want to do this.
No, not even that. You have an event, you go to somebody and change their event to cater to you. Then you have an event that's catered to you. I mean, do you hear what I'm saying? So you got two events, one that's about you, one that's not, that's catered to you.
And I know the restaurant I'm picking. It's an expensive restaurant, but I don't go there every day. I go once a year. Once a year, I make my way to this restaurant. I know it's going to be $100 to eat there. So you know what I do? I save up. I just save up for it. I don't spend that money. I put it aside because that's where I want to go. But you don't have to go. If you want to go to McDonald's and have one of their nasty hamburgers, that's you. But don't come to my event. We should have went to Ruth Christie's. We should have went. No.
Ruth Christie.
Or Ruth Chris Steakhouse, whatever that place is called.
You got Chris Christie on your brain. Like Ruth Christie.
What is that restaurant called?
That's it. Ruth Chris.
Oh, Ruth Chris. Yeah.
I said you had Chris Christie.
Yeah,
on
I said
your
Christie. Yeah,
Ruth
okay.
Christie. I'm like,
let's go to the Olive Garden. I don't want to go to the Olive Garden. I want to go to Fogo de Chao. That's the restaurant I want to go to. And that's the restaurant we will go to.
And you have every right to choose, and they have every right to decline.
Yeah, if you don't want to go, okay, cool.
That's it. All right, we're going to move on to the next story because we're running out of time. We may actually literally run over because it's pretty long. God, I don't know which one I want to play. I really don't. Wait a minute, I'm missing a video. Oh, no. I'm not missing a video. It literally is. Okay, here it is. I don't even want to give any hints of this because I can't, because giving hints would just mess up the story. So let's just go ahead and jump into it.
Background. I, 43 male, have 2 kids with my late wife, Kayla. Sam, who's 21, and Liz, who's 16. All fake names. Kayla passed when our kids were 15 and 10. I won't give specifics about what happened, but she was struck by a drunk driver when she was on her way home from work. She really was the love of my life, and to say that her passing hit our family hard would be an understatement. I promised myself that if I got back into the dating game, I wouldn't date anyone for at least a couple of years for the sake of my kids. 3 years after my wife's passing, I met my now fiancée. We'll call her Amanda. Things went slow, and I didn't introduce her to my kids until we had been dating for about a year at that point. Now we've been together for 3 years, and we're engaged. Amanda and my kids always had a good relationship. Neither of my kids are super close to her, but they've always been friendly and welcoming to her, and Amanda has never overstepped any boundaries they have, like trying to replace their mother. At the beginning of Amanda and I's relationship, she was a bit insecure of the fact that I was a widower. During the first few months of us dating, she would constantly ask things like, if Kayla had never passed, would I still be with her right now? I always kept my answers brief and told her that I didn't like thinking about the what ifs, and that she was the one I was dating now, and that was what mattered. Eventually, she stopped making these comments, and I stopped worrying about it. Now on to the issue. My parents were hosting a family dinner to celebrate my fiancé and I's engagement. It was my mom and dad, my late wife's sister and her husband, Sam and Liz, and me and Amanda. Dinner was going well. We were all making small talk with each other and talked about wedding plans. About halfway into dinner, my mom made a comment about how she was so happy I was able to find the spark I had with Kayla and someone else. I don't think anybody really paid much attention to the comment, but then Amanda laughed and said, I'm happy it happened to her. Otherwise, I never would have gotten him to myself. The tone of the dinner immediately shifted, and everyone got extremely tense, especially my kids. Amanda noticed the shift and started awkwardly laughing like she was trying to play her comment off as a joke. I was honestly just frozen, as that was the first time she had made a comment like that. My kids looked disgusted, and Liz got up and walked out to the car. Sam waited a bit longer like he wanted me to say something, but I was still in shock about what Amanda had just said. To make a long story about the dinner short, the dinner was kind of ruined, so I said my goodbyes to everyone, grabbed my fiancé, and we all drove home. My daughter hasn't spoken to me or Amanda since, and it's been 3 days. I got tired of it and pulled my son aside to ask him what I should do. He said something along the lines of, I'm a grown man and don't care who another grown man marries, but I don't want a woman who speaks like that about our mother around my sister. Sam's comment stuck with me, and now I'm considering calling off the engagement entirely. She's never made comments like this before, but I'm worried if I let it slide this one time, it will become more frequent and it will affect my daughter. I need some advice from outside perspectives and just want to do the right thing for my kids. Would I be the jerk if I called off the engagement because of the comment she made?
Ooh.
She really said what? She's glad she passed? What?
Let me say this real quick to get it off my chest, because I just caught that statement. If your wife hasn't passed, do you think we would have been together? No, because I would have still been married. I wouldn't even know you.
You could have said
Anything.
if he had
Anything
never
other
had
than-
met her, he wouldn't be the man that he is today. You said you were glad she's gone.
She could have went with the
That's a warning flag.
don't marry this lady because nah, chick, she wanted out, and so she figured, you know what, I'm gonna say the most inappropriate thing, and then that way he'll just break it off. Yeah, I knew what restaurant I was talking about.
I don't, but okay.
Oh God. I can't even. She gets ghosted.
She had to want to break up with him. That's the story I'm making. I'm sticking to it. She wanted to break up the engagement because she felt insecure. So she figured, I'm going to say the most inappropriate thing, and then that way he'll break it off. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. It's the only thing that makes. She's glad she died. She could have went to, well, things work together for the good, or all things work together for good. Something else other than I'm glad she died.
I'm glad it happened. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she said I'm glad it happened.
I'm glad it happened.
Well,
there's no other way to interpret that.
Oh.
And I don't know if her brain wasn't connected to her mouth. The fact that she just sat there and nervously giggled afterwards?
It didn't go over the way
Okay,
she
you're
thought
not
it
even. Bye-bye.
Well, I got one last thing to say. Welcome back, Tracy. Oh, come on. You should have saw that coming. But you didn't.
He stayed with her and married her.
No, I figured this could. There's gonna be more. Okay.
It gets a little deeper.
While I'm writing this update, it's the day after I talked to my kids. So last night around 5:30, my fiance left for work. She works nights most days of the week, so I was able to call my son and ask if he could come over so I can talk to him and his sister. He goes to our local college and lives in an apartment near his school. When he started college, he wanted to move out, but also wanted to stay close to us, so he settled on an apartment a few blocks away from the college. He came over, and I called him and his sister into the living room to talk with the both of them. When they were both seated, I told them point blank that I didn't think the wedding was happening anymore, and that the comment she made was unacceptable. I then, by the advice of the comments, apologized to them. I told them I was sorry for not saying anything for so long and letting the tension thicken in our home. I told my daughter that I understood why she hasn't spoken to me and that I was sorry for allowing her to think I was even remotely okay with what she said. I felt pretty spineless after we had gotten back from the dinner that night, so I wanted to do everything in my power to make it right to the kids during the conversation. My daughter told me that she felt disgusted at the comment Amanda made, and even more so when I didn't defend her mother. She then told me that the past 2 years that she's known Amanda, she felt like she's been gradually trying to push her and Sam away from me. One of the examples Liz gave me was when my son moved out. He moved out when he was about to start his sophomore year of college, and when he mentioned the idea of moving out, Amanda was the one who took that and ran with it. According to Liz, Amanda was the one encouraging Sam the most to move out. To be clear, I was never against Sam moving out, but I was clear to him that he was welcome to live at home for his college years, and even after until he found where he wanted to be. I asked Sam if he felt pushed out by Amanda, and if that's why he moved out. He said he hadn't felt pushed out before he told everyone he wanted to move, but after he put it out there, my fiance kept pushing for him to move out. Liz cut in and said that every time she brings up college, Amanda keeps encouraging her to go out of state. Liz doesn't plan on going out of state, and she's been open about wanting to go to the college Sam is attending right now. Liz said she feels like Amanda is waiting till she graduates high school and goes to college so she can move out. A lot of the comments were right about the subtle comments, eventually turning into Amanda wanting my kids pushed away from me. Liz said that she was scared that by the time I eventually noticed the way Amanda was acting, too big of a wedge would have already been driven between me and them. I told my kids that I'm sorry it's taken me this long to notice, and that I was also sorry they've been walking on eggshells for so long. I hugged them and told them that no matter what, they're my top priority, not Amanda or anybody else. A lot of the comments pointed out that even though my son is grown, he still needs his father, and I made sure to let my son know that I will always be there for him and his sister, even when they are well grown. The entire conversation lasted 2 hours. We covered a lot of the bases we wanted to, and it got emotional on all sides. In short, Amanda and I are done. I've made it a point to tell my kids that none of this situation is their fault, and that Amanda is the grown woman who said what she said. My kids and I are okay now, but they aren't 100% okay with me and probably won't be for a while. I'm completely fine with that, and I just want my kids to be comfortable at their own home. Amanda is tomorrow off from work, so I plan on talking to her tomorrow. I also plan on calling my mother to ask her why she thought it was okay to even bring up Kayla at the dinner. I don't want my daughter here when it all goes down, so she's staying tonight and tomorrow night with Sam. So that's where I'm at now. Not super happy about the outcome of me and Amanda, but would rather my kids be happy and healthy than for me to have a wife. Again, thank you everyone for the advice and the harsh words.
I'm gonna bring up these two things. It's still not good, but if I'm being charitable, maybe that was a case of disconnect brain mouth, but nah. And Mickey did come back and says, I'm sure we've all said something stunningly stupid that we wish we haven't. And if I'm being charitable, I agree with both of them. We have literally said something that came out of our mouth that we normally would not say and just go, why the hell did I just say that? That doesn't even, that's so. So we have literally said things that we wish we've never said at the worst times possible. But they're having done that does not disengage from consequence.
I wish you'd talk to his kids a little earlier, a little faster. If they were uncomfortable all this time, you didn't pick up on it.
I'm having an issue with you. You're spending a lot. Your former fiance, I guess now. If your former fiance is spending enough time to spin that web than you are in finding out what's going on, there's an issue. And apparently she's been spending enough time with her to spin a web. And I'm sorry, I'm human. So these stories that I read just goes over my head. I never understood the concept of wanting somebody all to myself. Like that just never made any sense to me ever. Man, woman, child, whatever. It just I cannot phantom that. that I'm willing to break up a family simply because I want somebody exclusively for me and me only. That's why I don't pull any punches on these husbands / wives who starts a new family. You had a child from a previous relationship and you go and start a new family and screw the kid because I got a new family. No, you do not have a new family. You have an extension. That's what that is. Not new. You are now an extension to the family you've already had. You could only start one family. You could take family members out. You can add family members in, but you don't start a new family. That's a cop out. It really sounds like just a cop out. And kudos to the father, but I'm with Anna on this. Dude, you need to move a little quicker.
Y'all not getting an obvious point. It's obvious he wasn't ready to marry in the first place. I don't
This
think
was
he
the
was ready
first
to.
girlfriend.
Yeah, I don't think he was ready
Yeah.
for a whole new marriage. I don't. Maybe dating, but nah, bruh, ease off of that. You don't have to. This in the 1890s where you had to get married 2 weeks after your spouse passes. You don't have to do that. You really don't have to do that. You can take your time. Maybe you never remarry. But obviously,
Concentrate
to
on your
me, he
kid.
just.
Yeah. If she was able to slide in and make, I'm sorry. Yeah, it seems like the deeper problem in the relationship is with Amanda trying to push away the kids was piling up, and it took this moment at the dinner table for those things to get brought up.
But they never brought it up to him. That's the thing. Either I don't know why.
Okay, okay. I did the kids the age. So they were 15 and 10 at the start
When
of
the
the
mother
story
passed.
when the mother passed. It was 3 years later when he met Amanda, and it was a further 3 years. By this time, their son was 21, their daughter was 16.
Also, you got to remember something too, Tracy.
But they never went to him and said she's trying to separate us.
You probably wouldn't
She was
because the deal.
13 when they started. You know, that's
Well, I mean, it's not.
Maybe I'm missing something because I'm like either he was.
It's not. It's not. It's just hear me out on this one. You got to put yourself in the children's place, and that is my father's happy again.
in the very beginning.
My father is happy again. He went through the same stuff that you did. You know, it's and you met somebody. He's happy. Hey, yeah, she's pushing me out and everything, but I specifically said it was time for me to leave and everything else. I don't want to mess up what they have and everything. And 21, you're still young. I mean,
Mhm.
kids, you still young. You still a lot. I ain't gonna say some. A lot of kids put their parents' happiness ahead of themselves to a certain extent, even to the extent of themselves. It's a lot of stories that we keep hearing about kids. It's just like we hear later on that one or both of the parents are toxic, but they don't say anything because they know what the outcome would be. So they know it's wrong, but in their mind, they can handle it until they can't. Now, would I want the kids to speak up? Yeah. But
Yeah,
you
I'm
know
like,
what, parents? You need to encourage that. you need to tell them, look, if you feel like there's something wrong, you need to come to me. It may be wrong, it may be right, but I can't
Or it
fix
might be
something I don't know
crazy.
anything about.
Or it
So,
might be what, Tracy?
I said, or it might be crazy. The Billy Joel song. Maybe, never mind.
oh, good Lord. Welcome back, Tracy. But you know, that's something that's still on the parent. That you never encourage that, hey, you got an issue, you need to come to me.
Or did he really? Because when
Oh, he didn't. Oh, he didn't. I
he
can tell you that.
didn't, that's what
No,
I'm
he
getting
didn't.
at. Because what parent that, and I don't, well, I know a lot of parents. It don't seem to me that most parents are the type that would encourage their children to speak up. And
That's
maybe
true.
I'm reading this whole thing wrong because it's like, oh, you gonna
No.
tell me?
You're absolutely right.
I
You do
mean,
have parents that don't have stay in your place.
yep, stay in your place. Because I think about even our situation. My mother was with a guy. I'm like,
Yeah,
I
we
ain't getting. But let me say something. That wasn't happening.
no, we've always encouraged, hey, you got a problem with Foxy, you got a
Yeah.
problem with me, you got a problem in your life that you can't handle, you need to open your mouth.
I wish
I'm
more
not gonna
parents would
guess
do
what's
that
going on.
because it was like,
Me
well,
too,
dude,
Tracy.
you really shouldn't. I was like, dude, you really think he's? I know what's best. Okay, never mind. Because you avoid it. You
Your
really do
parents should
avoid
be
it.
one of the safest places in the world for
It
you to
should
go
be,
to.
but it's
Yeah,
Should
not.
be. But
they
they're
should.
not at all times. So you
No,
need to
Tracy.
find who you can be safe with.
I was raised the same way. I mean, she's not. Again, I've always told everybody the woman that's here now is not the woman that raised me. So it's totally two different people. This is a woman that's trying to get into heaven, but this is not the woman that raised me. But I was raised the same way.
Yep, you better
You
stay in
got
your
an
place.
issue, you better just
Shut up.
figure it out. Figure it out. It's like, yeah, if I could have my mom had a statement that was funny, and I get it now, but it still was toxic when I was a little kid. What would you do if I wasn't here? Well, yeah,
Right.
I would try to figure it out, but fortunately, right now you are here, and
Yeah,
I
you're
don't know
right
what to
here.
do. So, could you help?
Yeah, it's
So,
What
like you
age?
right here.
Like, what age were you when she first said that? Do you remember?
teens. I mean,
Hey,
all right.
that's very reasonable.
So it's like you
Uh,
and my supervisor, well, the owner of the whole darn company, had a statement that I thought would made sense, but now I'm older. I mean, wiser, I should say. Don't come to me with a problem. Come to me with a solution.
Yep.
Dude,
okay.
if I had
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
solution,
Why would I come to you,
why
duh?
would I come to you?
Because sometimes people don't want to hear the solution.
You know what category that falls into? It's best to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yep,
So
I think
you
about all that. I'm like, man, we saved you time, and then you broke up with them. But see, I don't want to.
all right. Well, that's our first hour. Man, that went by fast. But we had some things to take care of. So it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go ahead and roll into the second hour. I switched some things up. So we literally now do have a full second hour. We do have a Am I the A-hole? We do have a Real or Nah. We do have a Mafia video of the week, courtesy of somebody who has never had a Mafia video of the week on this show, which
Oh,
is strange
dang.
to say because I'm the only one that have a Mafia video of the week. So let me see what. Hold on, we got more comments here. Um, More like "Don't come to me at all." Yeah,
Yep,
that was
that's
pretty
pretty
much
much
it.
what it
Don't come to
is.
no.
Stay out of.
Um, He sounds like he was used to making decisions over the kids' heads. That needs to stop as soon as they start making their own decisions, even if they were really dumb. I don't even care if you make a dumb decision because there's nobody on the face of the planet who hasn't. All I'm asking you to do is, could you come to me to fix an issue that you're having so I don't have to go down 3 levels of mistakes to fix
But
the
like we said,
mistake that you finally came to me about?
He didn't open the door for that. What if
No,
they had?
he
He'd have said, "Oh, you're being silly. She's not like that. You don't know her like I do. You don't see." People in love do some stupid stuff. Y'all be doing stupid stuff. Stupid.
All righty.
Stupid.
With that, we would go into our second.
Yeah, I'm
hour.
back, everybody.
You people in love do some stupid things.
Y'all do. Oh, I'll be like, think. Use your brain.
Yeah.
He insults me, but not that much. What?
Oh, Tracy, please, I ask of you to hold that thought.
I'll forget what it is when we come back.
Oh, you won't. You won't. You won't. Trust me. You won't forget it. I got a story for you. You won't forget where you at. Believe me. It'll all flood right back in. We're going to go into the second hour. So let's go ahead and reboot and refresh, and we'll see everybody on the other side. Stay tuned.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally. I wanna be free.
are back for the second hour. Surprise, everybody. We have changed a little bit. I felt like that we need to separate not only the first and second hour, which we got so much into something else that I utterly and completely forgot, but that we need to separate the two shows, Saturday Night Vibe and Radical Truth to Power. I think that we're just getting too much of the two shows colliding with each other. And from my perspective, it makes it very hard to edit because I don't know where I'm getting shows from and when did we say this and when did we say that and so on and so forth. So, and third and most importantly, I like change. Change is good sometimes. As always, let's go ahead and pay those bills. Radical Truth to Power tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will continue with Project 2025. Obviously, Anna Hart will be taking the majority of the questions and everything else. I'll just be dipping in and out as much as I can. And Anna is not allowed to send me any more notes that's longer than test papers ever again. Please do not forget to go support Tracy at buymeacoffee.com/Tracy Media LLC. Help support Tracy at all of her endeavors. Please do not forget to go to BorelliEtc.com at support Anna and all of her endeavors. Learn something that you didn't think you need to know, but you should. And as always, if you need to reach me, you could do so at radtp@outlook.com. That's radtp@outlook.com. How y'all like the new background? Like this? So
I like
cool.
it. We're in space.
Yep, Susan. Tracy is back. There are some parents who feel that children should be seen but not heard. Yeah, that's the point. I'm raising you. You should have, but Mickey, and on another note though, because I've been hearing these stories too, and it was brought up when I was growing up. I'm tired. Well, wait till you grow up. You don't know what tired is. I'm sleepy. Where you sleepy? You don't know what sleepy is. Well, it's rough in school. You don't know what rough is and everything else. It's like, what is your point of telling me this?
I had to walk 6 miles to school back and forth.
You never did. You never did.
Thank you. You live right around the corner from the school. What are you talking about?
You never did. You went through the backyard to get to your school. My all-time favorite was, you know, it's the most simplest statement, but it makes the most damage in a child's life. Get over it.
Oh, yeah.
It's 3 words, and it has caused the most damage in a child's life. One, it really depends on what it is. Because sometimes I use the word get over it, and it usually has something to do with it's raining outside and I can't go play. Get over it. Ain't nothing I can do about that. Oh, they canceled my favorite cartoon. Okay. Nothing I can do about that. I'm having a hard time in school because this person keeps bothering me and I can't concentrate. Get over it. Just ignore them. Okay, now you've been an a-hole. Because that is something that you could do about that. And you just don't want to. But yeah. I have one kid who assumed we have psychic connection. I have no idea what's going on with him. His brother think he's doing okay. Kid is too much like me, the psychic one. I wouldn't have no comment on that, Susan. The Sunday night show is earlier than the Saturday night show. There, fixed it. No, Susan, no. There's more. There's more. Radical Truth to Space. Oh Lord.
No, that's Saturday Night Vibes in Space.
Okay,
Because we
so
don't know if he's gonna do this tomorrow. Are you gonna do
no,
this
I'm not
tomorrow?
gonna do it tomorrow. No, but let's change it up a little bit. There we
Oh,
go.
that's worse than the other one. My eyes are like being distracted.
Really? That never really bothered me. The only videos that really bothered me is the ones that
I know because I'm looking at you, but I'm also looking at the background. Like,
yeah, trust me, there's some backgrounds that that's distracting.
Yeah, I can see what
both of them
she's
are
saying.
Yeah, I'm like, nah,
You
neither
go
one.
back
I'm
down
like,
and say-
nah,
I think what it is
go
any
to the
background that
backdrop
I'm
one.
gonna have is not gonna be like fast or even medium fast. It's like we need something that's a little slow, calming, because I have videos that I look at where they play a video game in the background. It is the most distracting thing
You're like,
because I'm
oh,
looking at it going, come on, you can do it. Come on. Like the driving game they have in the background. I'm like, come on, you can get over it. You can do it. I'm like,
this.
oh, I done missed the whole freaking what he was
In
saying.
the store. Let me go back and play it. Then you
Yeah,
get
it's like,
again.
dude, come on. That's distracted as crap. Space is better than this one. Okay, I'll keep this one then. I'll keep this up. All right, everybody. Am I the a-hole? So I'm gonna play this video and I'm going to see if anybody can pick up what I was thinking at the end. Husband stole child's bike.
My daughter received a bike from her uncle, my brother, on her 11th birthday. She was over the moon and excited to use it because it was on her wish list for so long. Days ago, I discovered that my husband reached out to my brother to ask for the receipt for the bike, and he returned it to the store and kept the money for himself while my daughter was at school. My daughter and I got home, and she started crying after noticing the bike was gone. My husband was home at the time, and he told me that he returned the bike and got money in return to spend on something useful for us. Since the bike was just there as a distraction and there was no need for it now since we're in the dead of winter. I was aggravated and lost it on him, saying that it wasn't his, it didn't come from him, and he didn't pay for it. So he had no right to touch it, especially knowing our daughter's been waiting for it for a long time, and my brother was decent enough to buy it for her despite barely having money to get him by. I told him that what he did was theft, and I insisted that he hand over the money so I could repurchase it for her. But he said that he spent the money on stuff for the house, and he doesn't have any money left. But I knew about the money that he kept stashed away in the bedroom that he forbade me from touching. So I took some of that money, and I went out to repurchase the bike while he was out the next day. He found out and verbally lashed out at me, saying that I should have never touched the money that he was saving for himself. But I lashed right back, saying that I had to so I could repurchase the bike that he stole from our daughter. He explained that he didn't keep the money for himself, and instead spent the money for necessities for our home. But he was at fault for taking the bike in the first place, and he was responsible for getting it back. He yelled at me for almost 10 minutes, then stormed outside and started smoking. My daughter asked why her dad was upset and said that she no longer wants the bike if dad doesn't want her to have it. But I assured her that's not the case, and I told her she shouldn't feel guilty and to just focus on enjoying her bike. My husband hasn't stopped grilling me about how I disrespected and undermined him, and how I managed to make our daughter hate him after making him look like the bad guy. I again said that he shouldn't have touched the bike. End of story. He called me a thief and a juvenile for taking money from his savings and being sneaky about it. Am I the butthole for the way that I got the bike back?
Ooh, is this true? True or not?
No.
Oh, well, they both a-holes then. Both the mother and the only a-hole who is not is the child. But the parents, yeah, they both a-holes.
Now, why are you saying the wife is one?
She matched petty with petty. It was petty of him to take the bike money and then spend it without telling her. But then she gonna get more petty and take money that he had, which he asked her not to touch, and then spend it behind his back. They both did exactly the same thing. They're both petty. They're both a-holes. I mean, the dad was totally wrong, but she wasn't totally right. I'm like,
Yeah.
she could have got that money for that bike a whole uh, lot of other ways. She didn't have to steal his money to take it.
But okay, the take the bike, sell the bike, so you can get the family things that it needs. But you got all this money over here stashed?
Yeah, you got money, but they didn't need it. Remember, because it was winter. I don't care if it was.
I
I don't
don't
care what it
care.
was. What the?
You were wrong to take the bike. Yeah, it wasn't yours. That was an incredibly petty move. I agree with Tracy. It's the fact that everybody did it in secret.
Yeah, then I'm like, well, what was she supposed to say? I'm gonna take your money while you're gone, and then what I'm gonna do is buy the bike. And what I'm gonna do?
She knows that money is there. Yeah.
Yeah, this is you. They both the a-holes, both of them.
This is
Okay,
messed up a lot.
let me say this. Let me say mine then. Tracy, I'll go with your route that both of them are the a-hole. One of them was an a-hole with a purpose though.
Hmm.
You had no business whatsoever taking a child's bike that you was never going to pay for because you had money, sell it so or
How much
return
was
it
this
and get
bike
the
worth?
money
That's what I want to know. How much was the bike worth that he could pay household fees? Bikes are that expensive?
because my deal is this.
Some bikes are hundreds of dollars. Yeah.
Some of them,
Some
yes.
bikes are
Well, it
more than
depends on
that.
what it is. This was a kid, so it may have been hundreds of dollars. But here's my deal, dude. So you will understand where you are the bigger a-hole than you think you are. You don't care that you are, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
For the household goods, you send a bike back for your household goods. You took the bike back so it can help with doing your job. Because that's a kid. It ain't the kid's job to pay for household goods. It's your job and your wife's job to pay for household goods. But you a bigger a-hole that you would rather. I mean, and the excuse that you had, well, we can't do that. What's the big deal? It's winter time. What the hell are you in Alaska? It ain't never gonna warm up. It ain't never gonna be summer again.
Hey, they got 6 months of
Where
sunshine
are
in
you?
Alaska.
Are you in the middle of the Antarctic? Are you? Where are you? Are you in the
It,
middle of the ocean where you will never ever be able to ride that bike? No, you. First of all, let's just be realistic. You're a thief, which is really the one thing. Let's make perfectly clear. You stole
Yeah.
from water, which makes it perfectly clear. So when your wife, who I agree with Tracy on, stole from you, which she did, but she stole money from you to give back to her daughter that you stole money from. Now, did you also did was your daughter the only person that you stole money from? No. You stole money from her uncle as well. Because he was the one that bought that bike. You lost nothing. You literally lost nothing in this exchange if everything would have went the way that you wanted it to go. You can pay for even if you was putting the money back into the house. There's no skin off of you at all. You get to keep the money that you were saving. For what? I have no idea. It ain't my business to even ask what the money was saved for. But it is my business to go, but you did have money.
So he could have paid for household goods out of the
So
money he had stashed up. What are you talking about?
But you act like there's no such thing as seasons. It's winter, winter, the 4 seasons: winter, colder winter, light cold winter, and winter. So she was never going to ride that bike ever.
Nope. And then she would have asked questions. And how did he tell his daughter, yep, I sold your bike, and look at all the stuff you got, though?
You have taken all the joy out. Like, that girl was ready to give up that bike now.
For you.
It just brought her pain.
No, I'm not. This moving background has hit me. I'm like, hey, yeah.
Oh, Lord. So she was over there and grabbed something to eat?
No, I was like, okay, I'm getting hypnotized.
I will find something better. I like it though. So soothing after a while.
No, because you can tell my eyes are like, okay, let me do this.
You could do like that one guy who video I saw where he put shades on. I'm like, okay, look.
Because then I'll be snoring. Then they'll be like,
I'm like, dude, just change the background if you're gonna be sitting there acting like that. That's just crazy.
No, now Mickey, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. She stole that money. She definitely stole it.
Yeah, she did, but she stole the money to replace the money that was stolen.
Or the bike. Because he could have just paid for the household stuff out of the money that he was stashing up somewhere. He just didn't want to because he's a selfish Grinch.
He was. Real or nah? I'm not gonna mess with Tracy on this one. This is a 2-parter, so I'm not gonna mess with Tracy with does it get worse? Yeah, it does. I'm coming to you, people. I'm coming to you again with a please tell me this is fake. Just please.
You just gonna keep using you people.
You people, the mafia, everybody that's watching right now.
You people is not good to say.
What?
It's insulting.
Yeah, if I go to an NAACP and go, you people, sure.
That's what any group of people.
If I have a mix of audience, you people who's watching the video, the mafia group, which
I'm sorry, but this background is getting to my eyes. I'm like, okay, I'm trying. Thank you. Oh, yes. Yes. Stop. Thank you.
You know, the good thing about you being almost 50 years old, Tracy, I can literally tell you, get over it. I can't tell you that when you're a kid because it really is wrong to say. Sorry, I just can't get that out of my head. But anyway, back to my statement. Please tell me that this is fake. Just tell me, even if you have to lie to me about it not being fake, please just tell me that it's fake. Because I can't do, and yeah, Tracy, I'll say it, I can't do people like this. That is a you people thing. I can't do people like this. So just listen to it. It is a 2-parter. So yes, it does get worse, but here's part 1.
My wife and I have been married for 11 years, together for a few years before that, and we've known each other for over 20 years. She's 37 and I'm 38. We met online when she was 16 and still in high school, and I was 17 and just starting college. My wife's name is Connie. Connie and I live several states away, and at first, there was some attraction on her part, but I just wanted to stay friends. Over several years, we grew closer and decided to have a long-distance relationship. I was always awkward with girls in high school, and it continued into adulthood. With Connie, things just felt natural. After a couple years, when we were talking about meeting in person, she destroyed me. She let me know that she had been having multiple other online relationships and that one of these men came to meet her and she wanted to be with him. Looking back, the smart thing to do would have been to end the story there. But nearly a year later, she reached out to me, saying that she was sorry and that she missed our friendship. I decided to give our friendship another chance, and for a while, it worked. She had a couple other relationships. We would talk and text regularly, but over time, the old feelings came back. I admitted them to her, and she said that she felt the same. We decided to give things another shot. Eventually, she came to visit me, and then we would alternate visits. We talked about her coming to live with me, and she did. She worked for a national chain store, so the plan was for her to simply transfer locations, but she didn't do that. Instead, she just quit. After she made a couple of attempts at finding work, she asked if she could stay at home and take care of the house, cook, clean, etc. I agreed since we didn't really have many expenses. She also refused to get her own bank account, instead using mine and calling everything our money. Looking back, the red flags were so blatantly obvious, but I was young and in love. She never cleaned and rarely cooked. Instead, we ordered out most of the time, wasting any money that I'd saved. We got several pets at her insistence. She begged me for over a year to get her pregnant because she wanted a baby. I said that I wanted to get married first, which is what ended up happening. When my daughter was an infant, we bought a house to have more space. She also wanted to live closer to one of her World of Warcraft friends, who we'll call Aaron. Because of Aaron, I learned of her fixating behavior. She'll find a male friend online, become besties with them, and then eventually find someone else. After Aaron, it was Roy. Roy lived further away, but he was in a bad relationship with his own wife and suicidal. Connie begged me to let him come stay with us until he could get on his feet, admitting that she'd already invited him. Defeated, I agreed, since I didn't want to make someone homeless. He lived with us for a year before he was able to get a job. Jesus, he's still living with us nearly 9 years later. And to be quite honest, it's because of him that I haven't gone completely insane yet.
I want to wait till the second part to say what I want to say.
I hate to tell you, but so far this is sounding real.
It really is. Okay, so I'm not the only one that thought that. I'm like, yep, this is really sad.
Yep.
That's not what I wanted to hear.
I know, but relationships have changed.
We said people. I said it. People do stupid stuff when they fall in love. Stupid.
I don't even think this is falling in love. This was obsessive behavior, or cyclical obsessive behavior. She got tired of one guy. She starts fixating on another one.
I'm talking about him. I'm talking about him being the stupid one.
Oh.
You gonna let some guy just move in with you? No. Nope, sorry about it. No.
Yeah,
I'll put you
okay.
every resource
That's
that you need.
stupid enough.
Nah.
But that's the story of so many young guys. I've heard
dumb.
that.
Y'all
and
dumb.
Young girls. It's a part of the learning process. It should be when you're a little bit younger, but hey.
Oh, Mickey.
This is just gonna get. Can we please?
It's gonna get worse. I got a feeling it's gonna get worse.
Oh, let's just go ahead and jump into it.
He already said.
Let's go ahead and jump into. Here's part 2.
Connie still barely does any housework. Roy does dishes, laundry, and yard work. All of it. He doesn't pay rent, but Connie has access to Roy's bank account and regularly spends his money to the point of overdraft. During this time, I've mostly separated my money from her. I have a bank account that she doesn't have access to with some savings that I use to pay our bills. If I didn't do this, then she would overdraft me as well. Some of my paycheck goes into a shared account for her, which she regularly overdrafts. After Roy lived here for a while, she found another man to be friends with, and the cycle continued. We have 2 kids now, and she barely spends any time with them. She instead prefers to smoke weed, which is legal here, and play video games for the entirety of the day. Sometimes she cooks, sometimes she'll even straighten up a bit. However, she has filled my house to the brim with clutter. Every room has boxes and boxes of useless garbage, some of it untouched. I knew that she had mental health issues when we were dating, but they've gotten worse. And with the use of TikTok, she's weaponized them against me. Every time I criticize her for ordering stuff we don't need, such as groceries we already have or junk that we'll never use, she defends herself by saying that she has ADHD and it's a symptom. She probably does have ADHD, but she's undiagnosed. She won't go to a psychiatrist for it. Her doctor prescribed her antidepressants, which have helped, but not with everything. The thing is, I have other friends with ADHD. They view it as a part of them which needs to be addressed and worked through. She sees it as an excuse to do whatever she wants without consequences. Recently, we went on vacation, and she asked her latest friend, who's recently divorced and looking for jobs in our area, if he could stay at our house while we were away. Roy would also be there. I agreed since it felt bad to make him spend several $1,000s a week on a hotel room. He's still here, and it's been weeks! He's done some Zoom interviews and occasionally does DoorDash to make some extra cash, but he's still here. We'll call him Joe. Connie and I have hit a breaking point, and we're talking about divorce. After a long conversation, she admitted that she sees nothing wrong with her behavior and finds it aggravating that I try to fix her. I realized that there's nothing for me in this relationship anymore. She also admitted to having feelings for Joe and that he's in love with her. The problem now is money. We have a $60,000 mortgage and we just bought a new car. She wants to keep both the house and the car when we split. I'm fine. What am I reading? I'm fine with this because I would rather live somewhere that isn't full of her garbage and I don't drive. But she can't pay for them and no bank in their right mind would give her a loan to buy me out. Even if they did, she couldn't pay it on her own. Either Roy or Joe or both would be paying for it. I want to be done with this relationship so badly, but I feel like I'm trapped here. My kids love their school and I don't want to make them move. I'm more than happy to get my name off the house and the car, get some money from the equity and start over. It would be great to take my kids each weekend and actually do things with them, but I don't see a path to get there. I feel trapped in my own house, which is becoming increasingly full of my wife's pets, both human and otherwise, as well as all of her garbage. Even though I want out, I still love Connie, in a way, and I don't want to hurt or destroy her, even though it's probably better than what she deserves. She was the one who broached the topic of divorce, but now she gets sad regularly thinking about it, and she's confused as to why I'm so often upset with her. All the stress of having her, Roy, and Joe, and 2 young children is eating away at me. I feel ashamed of the divorce. Ashamed that I couldn't fix her. Ashamed that I couldn't put my foot down and say no. Ashamed that there are multiple people living in my house that I don't want there. I haven't told my extended family or friends yet, though I'm going out with a friend tomorrow and I plan to tell them. We haven't told the kids either. It's all eating me up inside, but just typing this out has helped.
You know what? Dude.
Get to a lawyer right away. Get to a lawyer.
Sell the house or change the locks. It's one or the other and have their stuff outside. Kick her out, Roy, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. I don't care who the boy you like. Girl, stop it. Just stop it. When you find, and yes, Marlon, I'm going to use the word you don't like, a sucker, because that's what he is.
Oh, no, this is a clear definition of the word sucker. I
feel trapped. Dude, change the locks. Throw her out. Kick her animals, her trash, put it on the front step, lock the doors, don't let her in. If she tries to come in, have her arrested. Kick out Roy and Bob, all of them. Kick them all out except for the children. Kick them out. Divorce her. Run. Don't you come back to her. Sue for custody. She don't want to work. This lady is a leech. She's a leech. She's a leech. She's a leech. But dude, you letting people stay at your. How do you explain this to your kid? This is Uncle Roy. Uncle Roy's in love with your mother. But so is Uncle Harry. I forgot the other guy's name.
Joe.
Joe,
Too much.
John, Donald. I mean, kick her out. Kick her out. I don't care what your friends think. Kick her out. And this.
I'm not sure what the law would be about custody, who gets the house, who gets get to a lawyer
Sell the
right
house,
now.
sue for custody, and sue for alimony so she can get a job. Talking about she can't work. Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Okay, so everybody thinks it's a real story, so here's my rant. I have changed my stance on every story going forward after this story here. I already told Foxy, so I'm going to tell y'all. When we listen to married couples and the dude is very toxic or the woman is very toxic, no matter what the toxicity is, I don't even care at this point. When you stand up for yourself and you say something and you say, am I the a-hole? You are automatically, going to be the a-hole. From this point on, I can't deal with you no more. When you see crap while you was dating and you decide to still marry that person, you automatically are the a-hole because you constantly keep thinking it's going to change. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying you got married and all of a sudden things changed. I'm not talking about people that does that. I know those people. You put on a good strong face until you get married and then you act a plum fool. I'm talking about the ones who you literally see the same crap when you was dating and you decided, I'm just going to go ahead through it because maybe it'll get better. Then you're automatically the a-hole. But the funny thing about it is, who are you the a-hole to? You are the a-hole to yourself. Do not come on here and complain about something that you had warning about.
She told you who she was.
This woman right here that you decided to marry, what could she have possibly given you after marriage? You even, I will cook and clean. No, the hell you ain't, because you're not showing anything that says you would. I'm moving a person in. No, the hell you ain't. And now we get a divorce simply because you asked.
No, she volunteered without even asking.
You can volunteer all you want to. He's not coming. You need to go. Here's the deal, dude. Foxy has said this, and I have narrowed it down to it depends on the circumstances because we still have this argument about an old story a while back. But her stance has always been, you need to go ahead and nip everything in the bud at the very beginning. Like if you know there's going to be an issue, even if it's a small issue, it can grow and it can get worse. So you need to go ahead and say something right here, right now. Dude, you didn't do. And when was that? Hey, I'm talking to you online and you telling me that you dating other different people. I don't give a damn if 10 years went by. We ain't finna discuss it. You're not finna move in with me. But okay, let's go a little further because you're an idiot. Sorry, dude. Don't mean to jump all over you, but you are. Because the next thing you know, she left her job. She's not cooking. She's not cleaning. Did you kick her out there? No. You decided to marry her. Okay, well, let's move a little forward because you didn't even go there. Then you decided that you're going to choose your house depending on how far she is from somebody that she plays video games with online. Bruh, I don't even know what that... Yeah. Then you decide that this dude is going to move in and she already volunteered. I don't give a damn if she sent a moving truck to his house to get his stuff. No, you're not coming to stay here. I don't know this dude. But the funny thing about it is, not only did you not do it once, you did it twice. Then you decided to get this woman pregnant. You out of your damn mind. I'm already not going to get married to you, let alone get 2 kids that's going to have to be connected to you for the rest of my life with. Are you nuts? No, I want to be able to get out of this. But you have such a defeatist personality to this point, because this woman has broken you down so much that you are willing to give up your house and a car just so you can get out of it. I'm going to tell you right now, and thank goodness it's the second hour. I ain't giving up shit. I'm not going to give up something that I created. You have not done absolutely nothing. This is the conversation you need to have. I am divorcing you. You're not going to get shit out of this, including the kids. So how you want to go through this? Do you want to take your fake ass illness that I don't know if you do or do not have, because you're not a doctor? So I'm going to call it fake until you actually get diagnosed. Because you can call it ADHD. I call it being lazy as fuck. We're going to get a divorce. You can move out. You can take Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, and Ralph with you and the rest of New Edition and get the hell out too. Or we can wait till the whole process go through and we can have the sheriff come and kick you out. But I'm going to tell you right now, you're about to be fucking homeless dealing with me because you got to go.
I would change every lock on that house. Put haul her and animals out. Animals got to go too, because you know the house.
You need to go ahead and get the Temptations together and get out. You need to go take Noah's Ark and get them the hell out too. I don't care where you go, but you got to get the hell up out of here. I don't even care no more. No.
Again,
you should have. I am so mad at you because you should have put your foot down years ago. And years ago meaning you should not have started talking to her again online.
there you go.
We're done, dude.
You went back in for it so quickly. That was desperate.
Let me get these comments out the way because I'm tired. I am tired. Marlon is right. Parker, I'm not even going to... I'm literally not going to pat myself on the back on this. How the hell could you be wrong? Do the fucking opposite of what this dude did. You can't be wrong. I don't think he had developed the skills to stand up for himself and just let the bad things keep getting worse. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes. Sometimes you convince yourself it will get better because you think it's your fault, and they will let you think it is. They will say to you what they just said, Marlon. But the deal is, I don't go by words alone. I go by action. What is your action doing? You can talk to me until you blue in the face. If you tell me that you're going to clean up because you're not working and I come home and the house is dirty, okay, you're not doing what you said you're going to do. Your actions is not matching your words. Thus, I will not go further into this relationship.
Yep.
I'm just not going to do it. You can say whatever the hell you want to. Good. You can't gaslight me. I lived through the Trump era. They don't burn gaslighting out in me 10 times over. You can't say jack to me that's going to trick me anymore.
Oh boy.
The gaslighting, the hypocrisy, all that stuff. You damn well can't even get a Speaker of the fucking House and blaming Democrats for it. The hell would I be listening to your ass for?
keep saying it. Love will make people stupid.
God, dog
Stupid.
it, man.
Why did she love me? Dude, you can find somebody else.
Also, it seems like he's developed a very intimate feeling for someone over the course of multiple years when it was only ever online communication, no person meet up. It does. It just feels like he's fallen in love with a. It's still words. It was still words. He fell for the words, and it caught up to him.
I changed
He
them
fell
locks
for the
so
overdose.
fast, them locks will get
Agree
changed.
totally. Thank you, but you ain't in love with Trump? Hell no. Dude, I have never wanted to meet somebody so I can shake some sense into them. It's just like, dude, you need to get a grip on reality because you're not living in reality right now. You're far from living in reality.
So far away. So far.
You're somewhere else right now, and you need to get out of it quickly.
Take the kids with you. She don't work. She don't want to do nothing. She's a hoarder.
And I'm not even saying this is what happened, but if it's an ego thing, you need to get the fuck over that too. Yes, you was fooled. Yes, you was lied to. Yes, you was made to look like a fool. That's all well and good. Now that you know that, you can leave.
Yep.
You have your kids to think about.
Because she sure don't need custody.
I'm done.
Sure.
I'm hoping this is fake, but it's not. I've heard this story too many times.
Mafia video of the week. I knew I was going to go here with that story. I knew it. So I'm going to give you the most. I don't even know how to describe this. Oh, wait a minute. Susan wants to play devil's advocate. I played devil's advocate because I was married to a narcissist for 20 years and had 2 kids with him.
Oh boy.
Thanks to Foxy for teaching me that if I'm not getting something out of this relationship other than your happiness, what's a new saying that I heard? I'm not going to set myself on fire to keep you warm.
For real.
I love that statement. I love that statement. So, yeah. This is the most bittersweet story I have ever heard. Not that I played on this show. I have ever heard myself. And it is very bittersweet. But we're going to have a discussion at the end of the video. So here we go. My funeral, my way. By the way, there's a bunch of movement in the background. So everybody is neurodivergent. Just a heads up. It's a lot of movement in the background.
My health is slowly deteriorating, and I'm navigating the last few days of my life. I don't feel the details are super relevant to the issue at hand, but for those who are curious about my ultimate demise, I have cystic fibrosis, and after 2 rejected lung transplants, I've been told there isn't anything else they can do except keep me comfortable in my last few weeks. I've begun my preparations for my funeral and such, and while I was thinking it would be a breath of fresh air in this whirlwind of uncertainty, I could not have been more wrong. Now, on to my story. My parents are both strict Southern Baptists and want a very traditional funeral. This includes hymns to be sung during the memorial, a casket and graveside service, a viewing, countless prayers during their memorial, scripture to be read, etc. My issue with this is, well, everything. I am the complete opposite of my parents, not religious, curse like a sailor, drink like an Irish, you name it. Everything they are wanting and attempting to plan is not me as a person. I somehow made it to 25 and managed to meet the man of my dreams and marry him last year, and he is torn. He wants me to have it exactly as I want. He just doesn't want to have to deal with my parents after the fact while actively grieving. I have two siblings, one of whom is a clone of my parents and one who is a mixture of my parents and myself. I want my service to be one of full of laughter, funny stories and pictures, upbeat music, and cats. My husband and I are avid cat lovers, confetti, and other fun stuff. But more importantly, I want to be cremated and put in a cat-shaped urn. I told my husband I wanted my ashes to be handed out like party favors so my family and friends could take me with them because I love to travel, and he looked horrified. My parents are absolutely not on board and are essentially planning everything how they want, attempting to take me shopping for a casket, flowers, picking out hymns and verses, the whole deal. I'm obviously not very pleased. So I guess my question would be, WIBTA, if I took control of my own funeral and wrote a will to be followed exactly how I want it, I understand my parents are grieving and I've tried to compromise with a mixture of both my views and theirs, but they aren't having it. I never thought dying would be so stressful, and I just want to enjoy what time I have left without leaving a bomb of emotion and disappointment behind. Please, help. By the way, I would like to clarify the ashes as party favors thing. I wanted my closest friends and family to go home with a vial or something of the sort of my ashes. That way they could do with them as they please. Not everyone will get a piece of me, as strange as that sounds. I am writing down everything that I want and will be approaching my parents in order to find a compromise. Yes, funerals are for the living, and being able to remember that person for who they were is important. I'm not all of the things my parents wanted me to be, and I want them to understand this as they deal with my passing. I am willing to compromise, so wish me luck. I will attempt to keep up with everything, and as lame as this sounds, I'm off living my best life and trying to do something different every day, so I won't always have my phone. Tomorrow, we're traveling to the Everglades so I can watch my husband be terrified while on an airboat. It's gonna be awesome.
What? You get to do your funeral how you want to. Your last wishes are an incredibly sacred thing.
I don't know if my family is the only family that does this. We actually talk about this stuff. Sometimes we
No,
joking
we
about.
talk about it too.
You do okay. Sometimes we joke about
Yeah.
it. Like it depends on what mood we in. Like we in a bad mood or something like that, or stuff like that. Well, look, just throw me in a box in the backyard, or just hey, just dig a hole and just throw me in it. Don't even get a casket. Like what's the point? But we talk about it, but I think we know each other so well. We know what it is that we will do or what they would want and what it is that they don't want. Um, I am not the. I can't see my. I don't want people sad around my funeral. I'm gone. Enjoy my memories. Not that I'm not here anymore.
That's gonna be very, very, very hard right after you go.
Oh,
Yep.
I know.
Asking people not to be sad, that's Impossible.
Anna, trust me, that means more to me than anything else. It's a lot better to go, oh my God, he's dead, than he gone, buddy. Woo! I'm digging it. This K was
You know,
never
I
dead.
went to. Well, no, I did go to a funeral like that. They got up. We glad he dead. I'm like, did they just? Nah,
What?
they didn't say that. Tell you, you stick around people,
Oh,
you'll see a lot of stuff you ain't never seen. They just like, we glad. I'm like, okay, he must have been a terrible person.
Jeez. I did hear of a funeral. I didn't see it. I heard it from secondhand. I did hear of a funeral where it was the pastor and 5 people. And yes, the whole family and friends were alive. It wasn't that. I'm like, yikes. It is her funeral. That sounds flippant. I mean it literally.
no, I heard exactly how you said it.
I know what you're saying, Susan. It's not flippant. It is her funeral.
No. Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
haven't
This is
they,
too
like,
sad. He
if
can
this,
have what he wants. She can
yeah,
have. She can have what
yeah.
she wants for her funeral.
If the spouse is left, if the remaining spouse, it ain't up to them and not like the parents just then jumped in there like, yep, we gonna do no.
Because
They have,
there's always going to be a fight between. I heard this. Believe me, I don't want to bring this up, but it was funny because this is the only thing that popped in my head. I heard it from the Cosby Show, and it was, well, I'm her husband. Well, we're her parents, but I'm the husband. Well, here's the difference. We will always be her parents.
but that's
And I
not the
went,
way it should work. If
ooh, that's
the
actually kind of true. They will
no,
always be the parents. You may not always be the,
when your child gets married, you as the parent
yeah,
need
But
I
to
you
know.
are
step
right now.
aside. You need to step aside. Now, if they come to you and say, "Hey, I need help," or "I can't deal with this," okay. But they just took over like that spouse wasn't even there. They were like, "Oh, well, whatever. We're gonna just do what we want to do."
Yeah.
I'm currently researching natural funerals. It's now legal in New York.
What is a natural funeral?
Funeral.
That's wonderful, Mickey.
I don't know what a natural funeral is.
Natural funeral. I don't know what that means. I don't know.
There's many different kinds, so we would have to wait for Mickey to say what she means.
All right, so let's get to the second video.
I want to
Get
be
your-
cremated.
I'm thinking about that too right now, honestly. But
But first, I
yeah,
want to be donated to science. I want my body to be able to help and maybe even further treatments or understand the way the brain, after a lifetime of illness, is affected. There's so much that can be told. And yes, my mother and I, my father and I, my brother and I, my sister-in-law and I, we have all been extremely open. This is what we want. This is what our desires are.
When
And
you
nobody would think of going against somebody else's
oh, see,
last wishes.
you not in my boy. I'm glad you got family
Yeah,
like that because I don't. Sure don't. They be like, oh, we don't care.
I'm so sorry, love.
no chemicals, no preservatives, no cremation. Let
Oh,
the
so you
body
just want
rot naturally,
and
then
then
compost.
compost it.
So you're not gonna have a funeral? It's
No,
just
she's not saying that. You know how they put
Could she just won't
um
embalm
she won't
herself
embalm herself.
and
That's what it is. That's where I'm thinking. I'm like, she won't embalm herself.
no.
She'll
I
just
understand that, but
there are
after,
a lot of really, really bad chemicals in that. And there's a lot of drawbacks to a lot of different methods. And, I did once think of, should I get
oh
dropped in the sea? Should I become fish food?
Well, she came back and said no, so no funeral.
Okay, well, her wishes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we
Yeah.
know. So if anybody come on here and go, what was Mickey's final decision? We know. And
Mickey, would you feel any kind of way about if one of us had felt that, hey, we really appreciated knowing you and we just wanted to have our own connection? Would that be something you wouldn't want or would feel okay with? Just curious.
You mean like a memorial service?
Not a service, a very just your own.
Like you're getting together. I say memorial service. That's church of me. But I'm just saying something similar where
Okay,
we all
yes,
together.
then yes.
oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Okay, I do know that. There's a natural funeral of all being buried under a tree in a
A
cardboard
cardboard
box.
box.
Cowboy ways back in the day. Yes,
I think I heard of that. Because
back
the
in the day.
cardboard box dissolves completely.
Yep, I've literally heard that. You will be
The
amazed
problem
at
is
this
the
story.
human body has chemicals and just
Tracy, you will be amazed at some of the beautiful gardens that you see in the United States, and the tall trees in the United States were created because of a body that was underneath.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me at
So
all.
yeah,
oh yeah, red. That's a beautiful cycle to me.
no embalming, all natural. What do you do after I'm dead? Doesn't affect me. Now
Okay,
that I
that's
believe.
kind of what I wanted to know. Yep. Some
All right,
people, it's a very
some
personal
people
thing.
like that though. I mean,
Hmm.
all right, let's go ahead and get to the second video. Still a moving video, obviously, but I'm just gonna let you know it's gonna hit you.
Hi, everyone. First of all, thank you for all the kind words, support, and love that everyone has offered and given. These past few weeks have been the most difficult I have ever experienced, and it is with great sadness that I tell you all that my beautiful and cat-crazy wife has passed. I've had to cut this short due to character limits, sorry to all. But she did leave all of you a note, read it. I've copied everything verbatim below. She truly loved everyone and was smiling so much after her first post. I'll take my leave here. Much love. Reddit, if you're reading this, I am gone. Pretty crazy to be talking to someone who has passed away, eh? It feels a bit strange to be writing this. If this feels a bit disconnected, I'm sorry. I have to take frequent breaks as I get tired pretty quickly now. My husband offered to write these words, such a sweet ham, I know. Be nice to him, okay? But I wanted my last words to be written by me. Long story short, we talked to my parents. A lot of people asked about why my husband wasn't planning the funeral, and my parents were taking control. Honestly, my parents didn't take the news of my passing well, and I suppose their closure was to try and take control of what they could. I'm not angry at them for it, I understand. They had already prepaid a large portion of the service, and to put it plain and simple, it was a tough hand they were dealt. So we talked to them, I laid it all out for them, and somehow we reached a compromise. Lots of tears, lots of hugs too, and surprisingly, a lot of laughs. They admitted that they had been losing their faith with everything that had happened, and their way to attempt to find it again was to take control and quote-unquote guide me into the afterlife. Not my thing, though, and I explained that I am not them but their daughter who wanted to live her last weeks in peace, not the turmoil they were putting me through. And while a lot of people stated that funerals are for the living, true, I firmly believe that a funeral is for the living to remember that person as who they were, not what anyone else wanted them to be. My parents seemed to understand when I told them that. They were not on board with the party favor aspect, though, which is kind of a bummer. But I'm pretty lucky to have planned my own funeral, honestly. But now that that is all said and done, thank you guys. I was blown away by the responses. I was moved to tears, and I wish I had the chance to meet every single one of you. You all be good now, all right? Take it one day at a time and enjoy yourself. You only get one life. Unless you're someone who has survived death, you're just a hero and probably a cat with a few lives to spare. I love you all. I'm resting easy now. This disease stinks and I'm happy to be rid of it. And laugh, love, cry, and be sad. Stuff happens. I've got to go now. I'm going to go snuggle with my husband and my cats. Keep it real, Reddit. I love you all.
Dang, Marlon, come on.
No,
I'm not gonna cry. I will not.
that was beautiful. I am gonna cry. That was beautiful. What a loving. But some of her last thoughts would go to people that she didn't know beyond a few hours, of her life. That those words would continue and go on and on. That is the internet. And she chose loving words. And the story of, we just, we need to talk, say when something is wrong, figure it out. Yeah, a lot of times it's all grief. And yeah, I did feel for the parents. It was hard to come up with words that quickly. During the first part of the story, but I want to say thank you. Holy cow, that was beautiful.
Sometimes we deal with so many bad stories. Sometimes you just need to go ahead and just say the quiet part out loud. That we deal with so many bad stories on here that sometimes I want to throw in a heartfelt story. Like, here's the deal. Do what you want to do as long as it don't affect others in a negative way. Now, how they think about what you're doing is not my idea of a negative way. I mean, something that truly changes their way of life. You only have one life, folks. You only have one. Do you be as straight as you want to be as gay as you want to be as married as you want to be as single as you want to be, have 20 kids or have no kids. Work yourself so you can have enough money to retire, or work at a job that you really truly enjoy and with the money, as long as you're able to take care of yourself. You are responsible for making you happy. That's it. Sobering thing to say, but it's true. You are responsible for your happiness, not your parents, not your significant other, not even your pet. You are responsible for your happiness. If you have to add something to it, you have to have kids. Kids bring so much joy. I need to look at you and realize, well, why are you not happy now? But the funny thing about it is, I don't want to go that route. I don't want to go that way. My way of thinking was, it is so cool. I always found it so cool when people go out on their terms. And that's what this lady did. She went out on her terms, not the funeral, but it was, wow, crazy that I'm talking from the grave, huh? Well, y'all take care. Be easy. And it's like, that is so effing cool.
Yeah.
This woman is going through something and she's still dropping wisdom after she long gone. And we know the internet. This is gonna last forever, and she's still dropping wisdom. This is the definition of legacy. And when I say legacy, and people always want to think Camelot, the Kennedys, no. I'm talking about, what did you do that people are going to remember you by? What legacy? Even if it's your family who remember you, what did you leave for your family to remember you by? There was something that's morbid, I should say, but it brings me so much joy that it's to see my grandsons raising their sons and raising their grandchildren. And one day it comes up, long after I'm gone, and they look at their kids with their finger out and go, there's one thing that my G-Pa always told me. Blah, blah, blah. That's my legacy. You remember something I said that you raising your child on. My legacy ain't got to be in a newspaper and on television and newsreels and in history books. These videos that we make are our legacies. Our children and our grandchildren, our nieces and our nephews can look back on this long after I'm gone, and they know what our thought process is, what we was thinking on this significant thing, because the stuff that we're going through right now is going into history books.
Yeah.
So how did my Aunt Anna, how did my Aunt Tracy, how did my G-Pa Marlon and Uncle Marlon and everything, what was their thought process when these things was in the history books? They was living through it. What was they thinking? Oh, wow. I didn't even know they was like that. But that's profound. That's really interesting. Don't have to be big, folks. It just has to be remembered. This woman with a simple letter to Reddick. And kudos to the husband, too. Like, claps to you, dude. To post it. Because I'm pretty sure she said, make sure you get this out after I'm gone.
For him to take it down.
What?
For him to take it down. Like while she's reciting, he's shaking.
Oh, right. Yes.
She
maybe he did.
Yeah, maybe he was doing it, or maybe she typed it. And
I thought she said he wrote it.
I thought she was.
I think she was saying she was taking breaks. So
maybe that's what made me think that.
That 3-minute video, that 3-minute Reddit post that she made may have been like 2 or 3 days of writing. You know, she'll write and she'll take some time off.
I forget the disease. She said what disease? She said cystic fibrosis.
Yep. So I'm gonna step down off my soapbox. I said what I said.
It was beautifully said, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Foxy's videos of the week. We have 4 tonight, so let's go ahead and get started.
Was that the Mafia video of the week?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. The Mafia video of
I'm
the
so
week.
used to them being funny. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on.
Nope. The Mafia video of the week is from me, yours truly.
The ultimate person who selects them and then puts people on suspension for no good reason.
Hey, come on, it's October. You ain't got but 3 more months.
And then wondering why. I was like, oh, I guess I could come.
You got 3 months. You can do it. The first video, take it as a joke, but it's really not a joke because I've seen this woman on TikTok a lot. She's very good at what she does. I'm not taking that away from her. She seemed like a cool person. She seemed like somebody I would have no problem hanging with. But I can hear Thea's argument about this. And it is true to an extent. It is, but for the love of everything, please just take it as the joke that it is. Let's not get so deep into it. Let Theus do that. Trust me, I'll play it when he comes back on. And believe me, he I'm not gonna erase it once I play it. I'm gonna let Theus listen to it so he can put the social gabosh to all the funniness of it. They say she talks black.
To the motherfuckers in my comment section that keep saying, why do you talk black? Why do you act black?
This white lady blacker than me, Cocoa Butter, and the entire nation of Wakanda.
Now, she's cool, and I don't mean she talks black like yo 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 and y'all and yell and all that, but if y'all see some videos of her on TikTok, if I was literally not to let you see her but to hear her, yeah, she's like straight up, you would not be able to tell the difference at all. Period.
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna have to take Caesar's place. What the bleep does a black person talk like? Is she serious? Like we all just sitting around, yo, 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 what's up in the house? What?
You know where I have discovered
What?
this is my thing. This is the only argument that I've always had with Theus about talking black.
There's no such thing.
Which I really agree with him on. There is a different dialect between talking black and talking white. It has always been there.
Where?
It probably will always be there. My only issue that I've always had was, please do not come to me when I can pronounce words and announce words and say words correctly, and you come to me and go, you are so well spoken. I'm not speaking well. I just know how to speak.
But what is talking black? I want you to tell me. Please educate me.
I don't know. It's the
nothing.
It is.
It's a stereotypical.
It is.
Somebody sitting there making up stereotypes.
It is not stereotype. Okay, so here's why I make the argument that I made. Because I can listen to a radio station where I can tell that the people that's talking is black. They pronounce every word correctly. No, I don't even know what to say. None of these stereotypical words that, by the way, you racist people, we haven't said yo, yo, yo since the freaking damn 80s. And even then it was in freaking videos. So please shut the hell up with thinking we start every conversation off with that. Like, grow up.
Or, you know what I'm saying? No, I don't have any idea what you're saying.
And that's not even a black and white thing. I hear a whole bunch of white people. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So
Anna had to leave because she already, there's no such thing. You talk black.
It's something in the dialect or the speed, or I don't know what it is that I literally can tell black speech from white speech. I can tell. I don't know what it is, but I literally can tell.
Now, while there are some stereotypes that I think are funny, I think there are stereotypes. Not every black person likes watermelon. Not every black person can dance well. Not every black person can sing well. Not every black person cuts the G's off of their words or the T's off of their words or says tripping instead of tripping. No, there's no black. Well, you talk black. No, I'm just talking. It's the way that I talk.
And then here's another thing though.
And how come I can hear Anna
I'm
laugh and not
already
see her
in the
face?
controversial world to the point that Anna done dropped the freak off and laughing in the background like God.
Tracy,
And there's also a certain dialect that you do in business compared to with your friends. I don't talk the same way on this show that I talk at my job.
Oh, I do. Same way.
No, I
Same
don't.
pattern, same speech. I don't change up for nobody.
I just don't. That was an insult / compliment often used with Obama. It was.
He was clean cut because Joe Biden said one of them. He's clean cut. He's articulate.
He's so well spoken.
Like you gonna say that out loud, dude?
Tracy, you and Marlon and Diaz all speak your particular version of black. I know because I have to work hard not to sound like you are all in writing.
You might have to explain that one to me.
Yeah, explain that one. I got you all the way up to not to sound like you all in writing because that not getting that. Ella is cracking up. She is. She had to get off.
Well, she had to get off. Like you just said something so insensitive.
Not every black person.
That's like saying nobody white can dance, nobody white can sing. Their skin is pasty.
But those are stereotypes, though. And if you had to add a stereotype in, like I said, she's not adding a stereotype in the ways that she talks. She just the ways that her speed or how she says it or the way she says it or it just like even I had to look at her and go, so you missed? What am I missing? But I'm so confused when I see her videos. I'm so confused. But anyway, it doesn't matter because Diaz is gonna cut me a new one after he see that video anyway, and then I'll just sit there and roll my eyes and listen to everything that he says, and he'll get out of his system. And he'll go back to 1812 and explain the history then. And I only pick up this when he's not here, but he is going to hurt me when he sees that video, though. He really is. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
And then how you going to use Wakanda? A made-up city? Really?
Okay, again, take the joke.
It wasn't funny. Now, how about that?
It was funny to me, and your humor is up for debate.
Oh, I have a great sense of humor. Great. All the humor I've brought to this show, top notch.
Except for the coffee thing. I hope that was an alarm. I hope that was a fire truck. You're still near a fire station?
Live across the street from it.
Still?
I moved from one fire station down the street from another one.
Oh, man.
I can't get rid of them. Got rid of the Dairy Queens that I used to always move near, but I can't knock the fire station.
Wow. I do mean wow. Oh. I don't write y'all. I write you all. Oh.
Now, I do say y'all all the time.
I don't think that's...
Okay, I see it.
Yeah, and I don't think y'all is... I didn't get y'all from black dialect. I got y'all from Southern dialect.
Yeah, just from...
I've always said y'all.
It's Northern. Y'all, there's Western that say y'all, but it's everywhere.
See, that's what I'm talking about, Tracy. Still traumatized after that Dr. T video. See?
Well, wait a minute, Learn Life. He shows them. I just emailed.
You
He
literally
no. There's only one time I said, if you don't show this, I'm walking. Once. It was one video, and it was the it was the Red House video. I was like, if you don't show this, I'm out. I'm done. I'm never coming back on. Once.
I feel like it's also different depending on the part of the country that you are in. Like Southern people has a distinct way of talking and will say y'all all the time. And that's my point, Parker. For anybody who sits there and say there is no difference between black speech and white speech, will have to also say there's no difference between North Carolina and California and New York and Texas.
There's
New
not.
Jersey.
People think I'm from the South. I don't know why. But people like, you're not from the South. You got an accent and everything. Yes, I'm like, I'm not from the South. I'm not from the South.
Yeah, you got a Midwest accent. Wow.
That's
But
what I
still,
thought. You know what I
Weird.
mean? Times people, you from the South, aren't you? No, I'm from Indianapolis,
get you
Indiana.
a person who
Weird.
was born and raised in New York and listen to their dialect while they talk, and oh man,
What you talking about?
it is.
You're talking to a person born and raised in New York.
I know. I'm
And
talking
Anna doesn't have an accent at all.
because
I don't hear when she talks.
I went to Maryland, and you sound Southern. Because I'm from the South. What did you expect for me to sound like?
Oprah, because she doesn't say. I mean, Oprah does not have an accent at all, and she grew up in Mississippi.
True, but it's an example. I had to work not to emulate your way of speaking. I know, I get it. And some people have this.
If you want to
That
imitate, no,
happens.
I
That
do right the way
happens.
I do right the way I talk. Not always, but I do use y'all.
and you people, he's a real big fan of you people.
And you people. But what about the way you pronounce wrestling as wrestling? Because I'm Southern, and in the South we
Wrestling.
said wrestling. We never said wrestling. We say wrestling, and that's literally how we've always said it. Professional wrestling. Well, the funny thing about it is we never put the word professional in it. We just had to put that word in there to separate WWE from collegiate wrestling.
Yeah,
But
collegiate wrestling is the real wrestling. WWE is some fake.
yeah, even though it's funny that the people who's our collegiate wrestlers winds up in the WWE as wrestlers.
But Parker, Kentucky, I don't consider Kentucky to be the South.
I do.
I don't.
No?
Kentucky?
Okay.
No. Kentucky is just like literally next.
Because literally, what do you call Texas? Because
Texas
they
is
literally have
South.
the same dialect as North and South
No, but it's
Carolina.
not South.
I understand that.
Kentucky is
I
not
understand
South.
that. Texas
Ohio's
is nowhere near North and South Carolina, but they literally have the same dialect, word for word, with North and South Carolina. Like there's literally not a difference between the two, but we're nowhere near each other. But now let's go down to Florida, who doesn't have our same dialect.
Even though I've never been to Florida. Wait a minute, I was in Florida the day before I had to go on a cruise. I decided to stay overnight in a hotel.
And good move. You always stay the day before you go on a cruise. Do not go the same day before you go to a cruise.
That's because I got
You're
this.
smart, but they've always said that do not ever go to the day of the cruise. You go the night before the cruise.
No, I went the whole day. I spent like the whole
Yeah,
day.
we do too. I'm just saying, make sure that you're there before the day before the cruise. Yeah, we spent the day down there in Florida. Miami? I love y'all.
Florida's
I
just
love
where the
y'all.
older people go to retire. I'm like, this isn't fun at all.
Some of y'all
Every
are.
single one of my grandparents are buried down there.
Yeah, I be thinking the Golden Girls. I'm like, where's Blanche and Sophia and Dorothy?
Florida. Let me see. I too was born and raised in the slums of New York. It's been over 50 years since I left, but people still there have a hint of New York accent in their speech. Yes.
She said in her speech.
Um, I have lived in Kentucky my whole life, and people debate all the time whether we are technically a southern state.
They're not. You're
I always have put Kentucky and Tennessee in the same
I've
category
always,
as southern.
yeah.
Kentucky is not. Tennessee is a maybe, but Kentucky is a absolutely not.
They're right above each other, right above and below each other.
No, Tennessee is below Kentucky.
Yes,
Kentucky is
they're
below
right
Indiana.
below above each
That
other.
you might as well say Indiana
Okay.
South, because literally, I can literally go in my car and drive to Louisville, Kentucky under 2 hours. It would not take me 2 hours to get from my house to Kentucky.
Anyway, we're gonna cut it short here because this is gonna cuss me out as time goes on anyway. So we'll revisit this so he can get all his stuff out. Husbands out there, y'all overplaying your hand. Sometimes you need to just chill out and just take the question the way it is.
Hey babe, do you want some dinner?
Sure, what are the options?
The options are yes and no.
Oh.
I don't see what was wrong with his question.
I do. Do you want dinner?
But what are the options? Cereal?
She was making one thing.
Then
Yes
she should have
or
said,
no.
I'm making this for dinner. Eat it. And shut up.
She probably did.
You see, or you can see what I'm cooking. Or
I still don't
literally,
see-
I've never
Smell it.
You could
I've
smell it.
yet to have my wife ever ask me, "Do you want dinner?" It's like,
He's like, I'm about to cook dinner.
yeah.
No, because sometimes people stop off at the fast food restaurant when they get home, and then you be like, well, I'm not really hungry because I just had Burger King or McDonald's or Wendy's or whatever it is y'all eat.
Or some people don't get hungry and find it very hard to eat. So
Or they're ticked off because I can't eat when I get angry. If I get real angry, it's like that's a wash. I'm not eating nothing.
All right, next video.
Why is it that when women are annoyed, you have to ask them 10 times what is wrong until they finally say, okay, this is the problem.
With women, they tend to be really emotionally intelligent. So if we know that what might upset you, so we kind of know, okay, this might upset you. So we assume if you cared about us, you'd know. And so because we think emotional intelligence is natural, we forget that men don't have that. They don't always think from somebody else's perspective all day, every day. They're not mind readers. So we think that if you loved me, you would know. In our minds. So if we have to tell you, you must not love me, but that's the wrong attitude, women. You shouldn't think like that. Effectively communicate what you need to be said, because otherwise you create distance.
Sis is speaking the truth.
Is she?
Yep, you should tell it. If somebody asks you,
I get that you need to tell people how you feel, but I'm not feeling that whole. We keep forgetting that we have an emotional.
Now that part she was.
I'm not understanding that emotional, so I should know what you're thinking.
No, she said that's the way women think. And most women I know, that's exact. Well, he should know. How's he gonna know if you don't tell him? Well, he should know. No, he shouldn't. You haven't told him.
I don't know, the emotional connection or the emotional. I can't remember what the word she kept saying.
Baggage? I forgot that quick.
No, but something about
Emotional intelligence.
Yeah, that's it. Emotional intelligence. That sounds right.
I'm like,
Or
emotional intelligence should be the reason why we should know.
No, she said that's the way women operate, and we shouldn't operate like that.
Okay, I'm gonna hold on to that video because I don't get that one. I emotional
I would need
intelligence.
her to say it again.
Yeah, we'll kick back. I'm not going to erase that one. We need to come back to that because I really feel like emotional intelligence and telling me what's wrong with you is totally two different things. Like, I feel like emotional intelligence is some a-hole that keeps saying you're in a bad hole. I see you in a bad mood, but I'm going to pretend like you in a bad mood and act like nothing is wrong, and I'm just going to keep going like everything is normal. Like, it's the equivalent of read the room. Like, you see the person not in a state that they was yesterday, so why are you pretending like you don't see it? Or better yet, or a better version of saying it, because I'm not in a bad mood means you shouldn't be in a bad mood. Or I am in a bad mood, which means you should be in a bad mood. Like, that's what I feel about emotional intelligence, but you have an issue and you need emotional intelligence to.
No, she kept saying women should not expect men to be mind readers. That's what she was to her overall message.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. I
She
don't know.
said we think men should be have emotional intelligence, although she did add sometimes they don't. And sometimes men don't. Sometimes women don't.
Right, that's the thing.
No, she said, but we keep forgetting that men do not have emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she did.
And that's what's bothering me. Like,
she was blanket, and I don't like that.
Yeah, that's what's bothering me. It's like that's two different things. That's not the same thing.
I know a lot of men who are incredibly emotional, sensitive, and
where are these
they
men
will
at?
feel. A lot of them are in Seattle. They will feel.
None of them live in the state of Indiana.
I can't speak.
I'm staying out of that one. Go ahead, Anna.
Oh, just if you cut. I'm familiar with people talking about the difference between an IQ and an EQ, your intelligence and your emotional. What does the Q stand for? I can't think of it. Anyway, there are men that can feel things. They can feel that something's going wrong in the room. They can absolutely sense that somebody else's emotions have changed. It's ridiculous to do this all men, anything, or all women, anything.
Oh, here you go, Anna. Q.
Quotient.
Intelligent quotient, emotion quotient. Emotional quotient. Thank you. Thank you. Your ability, your able to read, able to understand, Don't tell me men can't understand.
So if I say that,
A lot of them is in Seattle.
maybe I need to move.
Wow. Again, I'm staying out of it because I don't know. Men feel feelings. Here's a funny thing. It's gonna sound harsh. It is harsh. It's my truth, though.
All right.
Men will find a way to satisfy the woman that they really want to be with. Now, let me caveat that. It's a lot of growing that goes along with that. They're not going to get it right the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, the ninth, 10th time. I know some guys like that. So trust me, that number is not that far off. For some men who really want to chill out and deal with really settling down, really building a family, really being with one person, they'll figure it out. I mean, they really will. They will do what it takes to keep the woman that they want in their life happy, not happy, period, but happy to be in this relationship. They will make the sacrifices. They're looking at women who will make the same sacrifice. You have been brought up the same way all your time. And if you're the person, male, female, non-conforming individuals who have a stigma in their brain that I'm not going to change for nobody, fine. Deal with the consequences that come with that. Because that's what it's going to be, is a consequence. If you're not willing to change, hey, that's great. Understand that there's this person on the other side who's doing the exact same and thinking the exact same thing. You're not compatible. The people who are together and want to be together, they know there are things that need to change to be together. It's inevitable. You have to. And the people who figure this is the way I am and I'm not going to change, you're selfish as fuck because you think the way you are is correct. Sorry not to be harsh, but it is. You think your way of thinking, your way of living is correct. It's not. And I'm going to tell you why it's not. Not because it's not correct for everybody. It's not correct for who you are with right now. And if you want to be with that person, fine, you will find a way to change. If you don't, you need to go find somebody who is okay with how you are. But don't sit there and say, I'm not going to change and he needs to accept it. Men and women ain't got to accept shit from you. Seriously, they don't. Billions of people on this damn planet. Are you serious right now? So, yeah. If a man wants to really be with you, if a woman really wants to be with you, they're going to find a way to be with you. I'm not used to texting people in the morning. You'll find a way to text people in the morning. You're not a morning person and you don't want to talk. I'm like that. I'm really not. Foxy knows that about me. I don't speak to nobody when I wake up in the morning. I go do my routine and leave. Guess what she does? Absolutely nothing. Now, if I go into 12 o'clock and don't text her and don't say anything to her, she has a problem. Because she knows by this time you're awake now. So you ain't got no damn excuse.
She don't got a problem. You got a problem.
And what did I do? I changed that problem. I changed because this is the woman that I want to be with. So yeah, I know how to change to keep who I love, who I want to spend the rest of my life with. Go ahead,
That
Amber.
isn't changing fundamentally who you are.
No,
Right.
it's not.
When I hear I change for somebody, I hear something a lot deeper than making some adjustments for life with a partner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when I say change, I want y'all to take it as most elementary thing that you could possibly think of. People who think they make life-changing decisions in their lives, it's not. It's the most. This is the most uncomfortable thing that I've ever done because I've never done it all my life, and that's changing. It's not, dude. It's not, sis. It's not that. It wasn't that big of a damn deal when you thought to do it. It's not that damn big of a deal when you decide to change. It's just not. It's more comfortable to you, and that's why you don't want to do it because it is uncomfortable. But is it? Or, and I'm talking to the guys out there, and I'm talking to the old school guys, and the old school guys will understand this when I say this. Is it a change, or is it because you don't want to look like a sucker and think your eyes are wide open and she changed you and you don't want to look like a fool and you not what you used to be and she done came in and changed you and you a wimp and a sucker and a simp because she done came in, all this other stuff. Y'all old school guys know what I'm talking about. We live the same time frame. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You used to go to the club every weekend. Now you don't want to go to the club every weekend because you rather spend time with your girlfriend. Oh, she got you wide open, dude. You can't even do nothing. She got your balls in a purse and all this other stuff. So I can explain something to you now that I am older to all the young cats out there. I'm going to make this perfectly clear so you can understand. Bruh, don't let your boys that you ain't sleeping beside dictate what you're going to do in the relationship of the person that you are sleeping beside. Get it? Okay. Oh, Mickey, let's see what Mickey is saying. Not if you're MAGA. Hell, they can't even find the...
That's why I was laughing.
Mickey, you know I'm not going to read that out loud, but I did put it up for everybody.
That's not profane.
I'll give you that, Mickey. Not the MAGA. I wouldn't do that to you. I wonder how that bag of mingle thing is going. I wonder how
that. Oh my gosh, I want to talk about that so bad. Oh my gosh.
Wonder how that's working out. Changing behavior is not the same as changing who you are. Not that changing behavior isn't hard.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, people that complain about the weight of their spouse. Well, she didn't used to look like this dude. She had 5 of your kids. She's not gonna look the same. She's not going to look the same after 5. It doesn't work like that unless she did work. And you really think she gonna do that for you?
All right, 5 minutes left. Let's go ahead and get into the last video of the night.
Yes.
Yep.
What is something that you learned during the pandemic that you'll never get?
There are two types of people. Those who do what is best for everyone, even if it means their own personal sacrifice. And those who believe that their inconvenience is unacceptable no matter what.
again.
You people, and I'm sorry, because you people who I know, you know who you people are, who figure that putting a cloth over your mouth and nose is uncomfortable, and then came up with, which is funny to me, because again, y'all have burnt me out on the gaslighting so much that it doesn't even work anymore. That you can come up with scientific reasons why you can't wear a cloth over your mouth, even though you don't believe in science. That's why you didn't get the shot.
But
Pick
they
a fucking side. You don't even make no damn sense anymore.
But they wear glasses. They take their high blood pressure medicine. They get their flu vaccine.
You don't want to feel uncomfortable. You don't want to feel pressured. You don't want to feel like you want to change anything in your life. I can honestly tell you, during the pandemic, I have not stopped working, not day one. I went to work every day, period. Every single day, wearing a mask. Walking 3 to 4 blocks to get to work with a mask on. Go fuck yourselves if you can't even walk through a grocery store. Like, for real, for real. This is not hyperbole. This is not me. I'm not even pulling punches with you people anymore. You effing suck. This pandemic could have been under control a lot sooner. But you rather get not only agitated, you got violent because of a piece of cloth. It didn't tie you down in any kind of way, shape, or form. And the funny thing about it is, and I'm still talking to you people who sit there and go, oh my God, I'm so stuck in the house and I can't go nowhere whatsoever. I can't even see my family anymore. Damn it, you wasn't seeing them when we wasn't going through anything. Stop it. You wouldn't even go see your damn aunt next door. But now the pandemic is here. It cut me off from my family. How? She put a mask on, you put a mask on, move on with your damn life. No, you just, and here's the thing about America itself. You just don't want anybody telling you what the fuck to do. Meanwhile, MAGA during this time was getting bigger and stronger, faster than anything I do. And the only thing they did was tell you what the fuck to do. And think, and feel, and react.
But Trump. I
know. Golden calf, golden Trump head. I haven't forgot. I showed it on this show. I haven't forgot about y'all.
When history looks back on this, they're going to be like, were these people serious? This has got to be a lie.
I'm with this. It's the equivalent of saying, was the Nazis serious? Yeah. It's the same thing. You couldn't tell Nazi sympathizers shit about Hitler.
Sure couldn't. That's true.
You couldn't tell them jack squat. Same thing with Trump. Trump then, because Trump now.
Well, he done flew off all the way up.
Woo! Now y'all just pretended like yeah, we MAGA. Trump supporter? No, we're just MAGA. Yeah, but Trump was the one that started MAGA. Yeah, but we're more MAGA than Trump, cause Northern Star. Hell, I don't know. Whichever excuse y'all come up with. It don't have to actually make any sense.
I heard one of them disagree with him. Like, they better blink twice. Are you okay? Blink twice. Blink twice.
Like, okay, whatever. The pandemic could have been under control years ago. You didn't want to do it. Now it's under control 2 years after the pandemic. You still want to treat it like the flu. And by the way, here's the funny thing about it that I've been wanting to share with the American people for the longest time. The pandemic is not over.
Oh, it sure
We're
isn't.
still in the pandemic. It's just the pandemic has slowed down enough that we can get to normality, but it's not over.
Okay, so why has the rest of the world slowed down on vaccines, though, and we haven't? Why are the rest of the world really concerned about the heart attacks that have been going on with people who just go back to these boosters? I have questions still. You know, this sounds very different when you come from an immunocompromised position. And I understand the reticence of trusting doctors who have failed miserably before. The CDC has been nothing but a way for people to make money for a long time. Yes, they did a lot of good stuff in the early pandemic, like getting people to wash hands, wear masks. Those are the things that undeniably proven every time it works.
The CDC.
It's the CDC that told us not to wash our chicken. So it's kind of hard for me to trust them. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm being honest. I'm like,
The
nah.
CDC, and this is the equivalent of people who look at Chris Christie and people like
Not
that.
Ruth Christie's.
Not
Chris
Ruth
Christie.
Christie, Chris Christie. They fall. The CDC falls in the same category as them people and the people who the crackhead and Cheeseboro and things like that. Y'all did things good now. That don't erase all the bad crap that you did. The CDC, you're in the same boat. You did an excellent job while the pandemic was going on. Everything that you said was top notch. We sure as hell ain't gonna remember the bullshit that you were saying before. And the bullshit that you're gonna say afterwards. So yeah, that's my point, Anna. It don't erase nothing. You was pushed, CDC, to give correct information. But we ain't gonna sit here and pretend that the drugs that you pushed through, who was killing millions of people because you just wanted to get it over with and get it done, and then you came back after they died to go, yeah, maybe they didn't work. No, we're not gonna forget that. We will put the CDC in the same category as you did an excellent job during the pandemic. I appreciate it. With the updates and the format, you did an excellent job.
But you're actually there for.
What you're there for. So you okay. So I'll put it to you this way. Thank you, CDC, for actually doing your fucking job.
Exactly.
For 2 years. Kudos. 2 years after, I don't even know when the hell the CDC even started, but I guarantee you it wasn't 2 years ago. So yeah.
No, it was. I'd have to look up exactly the year it was formed, but it's been around in many different forms, as committees and such. But this is why things like MAGA, they have such strong footholds, because you always start with a grain of the truth.
And the distrust of the government. Look what Trump was able to do. He built up, you can't trust the government.
Nikki has a point. Look like Marlon has a problem when he considers the name of a woman's body part as dirty, yet he has no problem saying balls.
And that's not even the technical term for it.
Okay. I gotta think on that real quick.
Huh.
I gotta think on that real quick. Oh, no problem taking criticism.
No, that's really good.
But
I totally missed that.
Okay, the CDC, because I had to look, was found July 1st, 1946 in Atlanta, Georgia.
Man, fuck you, CDC.
Okay. Right after World War II. Yeah.
Out of 46. Okay. Anyway. And yet the KKK and the Proud Boys have no problem
bringing Nazis home.
And yet the KKK and the Proud Boys have no problem covering their entire face.
Yeah, because they don't want nobody to see it's them. Oh, let me shut up. See, I'm gonna shut up.
We saw tons of videos of typical violent MAGA forcibly tearing the mask off people. How many people with brains did we see forcing a mask on someone?
None. I didn't see none.
Nope. Because a non-Trump
I just see people saying you will not cross this door if you do not have a mask on. Yep. And I said, way to go.
Because non-Trump MAGAs was entirely predictable is Trumpism without Trump. The MAGA right now is an ideology. You don't need Trump for the ideology. The ideology for those type of people, the ideology was absolutely correct. They don't need the leader anymore.
Yep.
They just need the ideal and they'll roll with it.
The conservative movement will always change heads.
Yeah. The Nazi movement is still going around right now, everyone. It's still a movement.
Yeah, Mickey, blah, blah, blah. They said don't watch it. Like, blah, blah,
They
blah.
did not tell us not to watch chicken. They said we shouldn't rinse them under running water because that spreads the dirty water all over the counter. Wash your damn chicken. I'm sorry.
Thank you, for real. Just wash it.
Wash your
Put
chicken.
them in the sink. And please clean your sink after.
Yeah, clean your sink with some bleach.
And your counters, if you're scared of your counters. Clean the sink, clean the counters. Yeah.
Run some water. Now I'm not saying put soap on the chicken because that's a little weird. Because I saw that one chicken clean hers with bleach, and I'm like, nah, that's not what we mean by clean your chicken.
I'm getting a booster along with my flu shot, and it's a national thing, not the local doctor. They're not taking chances. Bad for. Oh, let me say this funny thing about it for people who have this problem with COVID. It's amazing to me that if you look at the statistics, it's amazing that as COVID was dropping to its lowest form when people was wearing masks, so was the flu. At the same rate.
I think everybody
all communicable
except for Anna didn't have COVID. That was you and Marlon and Thiz.
No, I did not.
COVID. Yeah, it's me and you that haven't had, but Marlon and Thiz did.
We are novids. the girls.
Well, I wasn't even gonna get my shot till like 3 of my siblings got it, and I was like, wait a minute, Tracy, you got diabetes. Oh, let me just go ahead and just get this done.
Yeah, I agree with that, Susan.
I have had terrible reactions to the vaccines. I went comatose after my first one. For 24 hours, I couldn't speak. I could barely move. It's
what after your shot?
Yes.
Yes, moving after your first shot, moving was overrated.
Yeah, because I couldn't lift my arm past it. I was like, okay.
I had no problem with my arm, what everybody else was going through. I had not that. I had the chills and
boy,
it's exhausting. Like that's the most cringy thing to me was me looking at the TV. I could be looking at a football game. They scored a touchdown, and then I raised my head again, and the game over.
Yeah,
that's what that shot did to me. I don't remember nothing between that last score and we're moving on to the next game. And I'm going, what the hell? Wait. That was the first quarter. What happened?
Yeah, what happened to Anna similarly happened to me. My first shot, I was fine, except for I couldn't move my arm. That second one put me in the hospital.
The first shot, I worked all the way. The first shot, I literally went to work. No issue. That second shot?
Boy, I was like out. I was like, what the heck? What the...
Man, and the chills. You have no idea how terrible it is that no matter how much blankets you put on you, you're not warming up. You're just not.
And I sleep with my heat off on purpose.
It was bad. But again, better than having it, because it was the same.
Yeah, because I was like, well, dang, everybody's getting come. But like I said, I wasn't gonna get it till 3 of my siblings got it, and I was like, nah, that's it. Let me make this appointment. Go get it.
Let's get on out of here, everybody.
Marlon, we can't hear you.
Okay, Anna, tell everybody where they can find you.
I am here on weekends, but you can find me on my website, borreliaetc.com. There's also Borrelia Etc. on YouTube and Instagram.
Tracy?
TracyMediaLLC.com. I'm going to load up a video tomorrow of today's show, so check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Good luck, Susan.
Children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, and of course,
I'm assuming you're LGBTQ until you.
That is our show for tonight. I appreciate Anna. I appreciate Tracy. And until next time, we will see you when we see you. Peace. Oh, Theus is not here, is he? Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham, and you fuckers still don't have a Speaker of the House.